Hello, welcome to Charm Persons. Thank you for joining us today for this spooky little one shot set in space. Um, let's just jump right into it, right? Let's get spooks. Um, it is the year 2432. Earth has become obsolete to its parasitic host known as humans. The time of war and infighting has long passed, as those on Earth simply try to survive. The countries and leaders of the world banded together and created the United Earth Coalition. Upon its creation, aeronautical engineers, astrophysicists, xenobiologists, military personnel, etc., all came together to work on space travel and finding a suitable new habitat for humankind. In the past century, a handful of vessels have been sent to promising locales, only to never be heard of again, or to return home with bad news of the proposed planet. However, recently a new planet was discovered on the outer rim of the Milky Way. Dubbed Zeta Prime, this planet is the most promising prospect for decades. Thus, another vessel and another crew were prepared. The funding for this journey came from none other than the Stratus Corporation. Stratus is the single leading powerhouse in innovative technology, including but not limited to space travel, bionic enhancements, sentient androids, xenomilitary technology, and more. Our story begins on the Stratus Corporation's prize ship, the Titan. The Titan houses a crew of 80, although only 8 out of the crew are awake from cryosleep at a time. It is a 10-year journey through the galaxy to get to Zeta Prime, and each of the 8 crew members tackles 2 separate 6-month stints of this journey, giving them each a year of time on this ship. Each team is fitted with the appropriate crew members, and it takes to run the daily operations of the Titan, along with the help of Adam, the artificial dedicated aeronautical mech, the Titan's AI. It's been 5 years since the Titan left Earth, and 36 hours ago, the halfway mission team and the Zeta Prime landing team, our crew, awoke from their cryoslumber. They have taken their time to acclimate to being awake and to get their bearings on the Titan. We first find ourselves in the hydroponics bay of the Titan. It is a humid room where Adam and the previous science officers have kept a collection of earthly flora growing through subtle UV lighting and a watering system that takes crystallized ice from the Titan that it accumulates on its exterior and repurposes it. Checking on her plants and the previous science officer's work, we meet our first character. JMO, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah. My character's name is Carolyn Sue. She's a very kind of classic good old country girl that has her doctorate in many things, one of which being in botany, as well as she is a medical doctor. She is generally always wearing overalls, and the pockets always look like they're bulging with various things, either a baggie of herbs to hang out to people, some ginger for an upset stomach, whatever the ailment might be, or little clippers to tend to her garden whenever she needs to. Um, Always hustling and bustling around, tending to the crew and plants' needs as she sees they need it. She does have her hair always pulled back in a messy bun, as well as one bionic eye that also helps her in her medical and botany various needs of having some thermal vision, can record some things, just things like that that you would just expect with a bionic eye.
Yeah. Amazing. And as you are in this room, like I said, it's been 36 hours since you awoke from cryosleep. Um, and as you have been trained pretty much immediately after that first day, so that you're like halfway through your second day here, as you've been trained, it's pretty important to immediately get into a routine. And so, it's at the time of the day where you're checking on the flora here in the hydroponics bay, and you hear the door to the hydroponics bay open up, and in walks Dr. Hank Mardukas. Dr. Hank Mardukas is your second on this journey. He is a mainly medical doctor, and he is an older member of the United Earth Coalition space program, and kind of got caught in the middle between like he was too young for the most recent trip that left a couple decades ago, and so now he's somewhat old, but he was able to make it. Probably in his prime would have been chief science officer, and is maybe a little bit grumpy about that. But he walks in and he says, "Caroline, hello, hello, good to
Oh,
see
hey
you."
Hank, how you doing?
Doing all right. Good afternoon. I have completed the crew's vital report. Everyone seems healthy. Everyone seems coherent. I think
Great, great, good to hear.
we've got a good crew. Everyone seemed to survive the first 5 years of cryo sleep pretty easily.
All right, well, that's great to hear. Everybody's up to snuff and doing all right in their first couple days here. I know psychiatry is your specialty, so you notice anyone that needs some extra care in that regard? Maybe a nice hot cup of tea in the morning or something?
Not that I've noticed. Of course, sometimes cryo sickness can take a few days to develop.
Yeah.
One of the main symptoms, of course, being stress and anxiety. So I will keep an eye out. But I think we've got a solid crew. It seems like everybody is going to, you know, handle our first 6 month stint with ease.
Well, that's great to hear. I'll always keep some mint on me. It's always good to chew, get your mind off of things. And the last person let it run rampant, let me tell you, it
Yeah,
is everywhere.
how are our
So
babies doing in here?
there too, I mean, I don't like to judge other people's work, but it could use some improvement. I'll just say that. Mostly
uh,
this mint. I mean, I put in my notes many a times that mint gets everywhere. And let me tell you, it is everywhere.
well, I trust in you to be able to handle it, of course.
Well,
I'm wondering. I almost wish this wasn't our first stint. I wish this was the time that we were landing on Zeta. I'm
yeah.
so excited to see, the potential new flora, maybe even fauna that we will discover. I
Oh,
mean,
honey, you don't even know. I have at least three notebooks prepared to just write down all of my notes about everything that I found there.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be great, Carol. And as the two
Yes.
of you kind of reminisce on what may be to come, we travel away from the hydroponics bay, and we wind and twist through the narrow hallways of the Titan, and we find ourselves um, at the cargo hold of the ship. Um, and it is in this cargo hold um, that our ship's security officer is currently doing a safety check of all of the main compartments of the Titan, the cargo hold being the last of these compartments. Matt, would you like to describe your character?
Yes, as you can see, I've modeled my character off of myself. Uh, he Security officer Ronnie is a very wide, muscular man with a comically large mustache, and always frowning, but not necessarily mad, just kind of indifferent. Hard to get words out of him that aren't just kind of grunts and short, terse sayings. He just does his job
Yeah,
without a lot of fanfare.
amazing. And walking next to you, we see your second, Zuri Abara. Zuri is a pretty good second to you because she is also very no nonsense. Is one to do her job um, very much by the book, very much in protocol. She is not one to let really anything slide. And she is kind of walking with you as you both continue this check. Every room that you've gone through is exactly what the last crew reported to have left behind. Um, as you all awoke from your cryosleep 36 hours ago, you did meet the captain of the previous crew. The captain stays awake until the next crew is fully awake for their stint. But you didn't meet any of your other counterparts, so you didn't meet the security officer or science officer or anything. But the report that they seem to leave behind is exactly what you find, which is to be expected. And Zuri, as she's walking with you, kind of notes your pulse rifle that you have strapped to your back. Your pulse rifle being a futuristic technology that, in order to not damage the hull, it literally shoots bursts of high powered air that is so powerful that it is able to tear away at the flesh, but is pretty short distance and not very powerful against inorganic material. But definitely packs a punch when within 5 feet or so of some organic material. That's for sure. And she kind of notes to that, and she says, "Well, you have the only firearm on the ship, sir. So I just want to make sure you are aware I did do inventory, and it seems the other teams have not seen fit to print any more weaponry, which makes sense. So that is what we were to do to discover, I suppose."
Yes, I'm the only one that needs it, but you are capable second.
Of course. We do. I have checked the 3D printer, and it is active should we need to print anymore. But everything seems to be, everything that I've noticed seems to be, or that you've assigned me to, seems to be coming back completely functional, completely as we expected it.
Excellent.
So do you think, I mean, the thing that I struggle with, sir, obviously our jobs are important, and should we be needed, we will be incredibly necessary and useful. But I struggle with what we are to do in our day to day. We have our checks, we have our rounds that we can run, but I don't like feeling useless, sir.
Yes, we will do our checks day to day, but I guarantee we will be needed, and when that time comes, I will not hesitate.
Oh, I know you won't, sir. I've read your file, and shall I say, it's an honor to serve underneath you. And as the two of you continue down, that being the most conversation you probably have throughout your journey, we make our way out of the cargo hold and towards the rear of the Titan itself. And we come to a small, cramped room that has all kinds of computers and displays and readings of what's going on. This is the engineering room. The humming of the Titan's large pulse engines can be heard even through the thick titanium walls. This room is right up against the engine well itself. And here we see our next character running diagnostics on the engine's output, fuel levels, and other crucial systems for the ship's functionality. Michael, would you like to describe your character?
Yes. This is Kane. Kane Talos is a blonde man. He has like floppy blonde future 80s hair. Thick glasses, wearing like kind of a mock blue turtleneck. Tall, thin. Just kind of really poring over the information on the screens. Seems a little nervous, apprehensive, but anxious about this whole thing.
Yeah. And as you are poring over your work, your second in command joins you in the room, Angela Cortez. And she walks in and she says, "Engineering officer, good to see you."
Hello, Miss Cortez. Did you sleep? Did you sleep well?
Yes, yeah, I did actually. I slept pretty well. Thank you for asking. Just to report, I have checked all main hallways and main area compartments for interior damage, have noted none. I have watched recordings and then checked live feeds of our external cameras, and other than the stray asteroid that was able to be disintegrated by our shield, we've had no activity or any damage on the outside. So interior and exterior look good, sir.
Okay. Excellent. Just let's just keep on that. These first few hours are a bit tentative, considering we've had the overlap in crew change. Just want to make sure that nothing happened
Of course.
in the downtime.
Yes, yeah, of course. I gotta say, I'm just really excited to be here. You know.
Yes, but this is it's an exciting opportunity. Not scary at all. We're all doing a really wonderful, comfortable job, and this is going to be quite fun.
Are you excited to start a new life on Zeta Prime? Is that something you're looking forward to? It's possibilities of just something new. It's so fantastical to me.
No, yes, of course. This is a tremendous opportunity for all of us, and who wouldn't want to go to a totally new planet and ecosystem?
Yeah, it seems like we're on the same page. And she kind of like looks at you apprehensively. All right, well, I suppose I should go get ready for the diagnostics report meeting. I'm sure we're going to be hearing from the captain.
Oh, yes, I should prepare for that as well. Thank you so much for the reminder. Oh no.
Of course, yeah, I'll leave you to it. And she's like very clearly not wanting to deal with the situation and steps away. And as she does so, in order to meet our next character, we fly back through the cramped hallways and passages past the ship's galley and onto the bridge of the Titan itself. The bridge is there is the captain of this team is currently double checking their current trajectory and reading through the logs of the previous captain. Emily, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, Captain Jeanette Carter is, she's not like a large in stature woman, but very commanding, short, graying hair. Always looks like she's thinking really hard about something. Just sitting there, just kind of scouring the notes from the last captain.
Yeah. And as she is sitting there, you hear from behind you, as your second in command, very chipperly walks into this room, Sam Ryder. He walks in and he hands you a cup of coffee for that little midday pickup. And he sits down on the chair in front of you and kind of swivels and turns back to you. How we doing this morning, Cap?
Doing fine, Sam. Thank you for this, but we have a lot of work to do. If you could go around to all the different sections and make sure this transition has gone smoothly, that would be lovely.
Already done, Cap. Got up this morning. All of the rooms seem to be doing well. I saw Dr. Mardukas for the crew check-in. He let me know that everyone's looking to do just fine. But we also had the diagnostics report meeting here in just a few minutes, so I'll make sure to call everybody and get them ready for that.
Thank you.
Of course. It's exciting stuff, huh, Kat?
Yes, I have a lot of reading to do, and
Yeah.
enjoy your coffee.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, I almost hope we run into some kind of asteroid belt or meteor shower just so I can get my hands on these wheels, you know?
You hope that we run into a... No.
I
Do you know how many
just,
people's safety is in our hands right now?
No, Cap, no, of course. You know what I mean? Something where I can actually drive this baby, you know? I feel like that would be, gonna be great.
Well,
you know,
if
you're
this
gonna be doing
mission
most of the
goes-
landing itself, but...
Yes, if this mission goes as it's supposed to, you will not have to drive at all, so...
Yeah, no, I understand. I was... All right. Well, do you want me to gather up everybody for the diagnostics report meeting?
Yes, please, Sam. That would be great.
I will do. Hey, Adam. And the voice of the AI comes through the intercoms over the bridge, and you hear yes. And Sam says, "Adam, can you announce the diagnostics report meeting? Everybody needs to meet in the conference room at 5." And Adam says, "Yes, of course." And then all of you in your various states and throughout the ship's PA system, you hear, "Attention, all crew, sign to the conference room in 5 minutes. Diagnostics report meeting." And Sam looks at you. "All right, well, I'll go get the room set up, Cap." He stands up and he makes his way
She would
there.
just stand up and follow him. She's not gonna not be the first one there.
Okay, amazing.
But she would like sit in a chair and finish reading the log while he prepares the room.
Okay, cool. He gets out. He basically lowers a projector screen where people can show any graphs or any actual visual data that they want to show. And slowly but surely, you all gather up into the meeting room of this ship, this conference room here. And it's probably one of the larger rooms on the ship, other than the galley itself, or the main cargo hold. But you all find yourselves slowly but surely entering the room, and then after a moment, Captain, everybody's here and everybody's ready, and this report is to receive all the reports the seconds were giving their supervisors. It's now time for the supervisors to report on them and report basically how's the basically it's this is the diagnosis report meeting. It's okay, we've woken up from cryosleep, we've had 36 hours, how's everything look?
Yeah.
How's everything?
Yeah.
So everyone's here and the meeting is yours and you take it underway.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
As far as I can tell, there haven't been any major events from the last crew, but I guess that's for all of you to update me on. Carolyn, how are things going?
Yeah, well, I think every one of you saw Dr. Hank, and he did an assessment of all of you, and so far so good. Everyone seems healthy and up to snuff. If that changes, please let either of us know. We'll get you fixed up real quick. But we don't want even the slightest tummy ache to go without a report, because tummy aches can come into even more. So if you're feeling even slightly off, please come and see us. Captain, if after this meeting, if we can go back to the hydro...
An alarm starts going off and the lights start flashing very slowly, a deeper red hue.
I pull out my rifle and I start walking to investigate.
Whoa.
Where do you off?
Do I...
I don't know.
It's just a general alarm. You don't know what the alarm is for right now. Do you guys hear the alarm?
Yeah. Do I know? I assume I know under what circumstances this would happen.
Yes, you do. This could be a breach in the hull. This could be an incoming projectile. This could be whatever it is. It's not good.
I'll bring up my wrist pad to see if there's anything going on with the ship itself.
Same.
You bring up your wrist pad and you see in flashing bold letters, incoming cosmic material.
Oh.
Sam, this might be your time. Everybody to your stations. Do we have any sort of communication between everybody?
You all can at the very least talk to each other from wherever you are on the ship, but only the captain and Kane, the engineer, have wrist pads where you can access it, the mainframe of the ship from wherever you are. The rest of you would have to go to a terminal or go to a pad or something.
Okay. I would immediately pull up the mainframe as we're walking to the main whatever.
Okay, yeah. As you guys are running, Zuri kind of stands up and says, Adam, what's incoming? And Adam speaks over the PA system. Undetected nebula wave in current trajectory. T-minus 10 seconds.
Oh, shit.
Nebula.
What is that?
Basically, a star, however long ago, who knows, billions of years ago, exploded, and there is now a projectile wave of energy and atoms and all different kinds of, star stuff that is that is flying through the air, and you are currently on the you are about to be hit by this wave of cosmic energy, and before you all can even really get out, you feel this pulsing of energy, and time slows down as you see, almost as if it was being scanned, this wave of purplish dark energy make its way through the ship towards you, and it gets in your brain gets louder and your eyes start to flash, and you feel almost as if time itself is stopping. Your vision goes completely white, and then the alarm goes off. Cosmic wave has passed through the ship. There's a slight shudder of the ship. Some of the lights blink and then all come back on, and you're all standing in the conference room. You all see each other. You're all still there.
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
give us a status report on the ship.
Ship systems are at full functionality.
I'll look at my wristband. Is there anything wrong with the shields? Anything?
No, I mean it definitely it's a little bit glitchier than you're used to, and things take a second to pop up. It's not unusable glitchy. It's just it takes a second, or it's the screen it looks really dim at first and then has to brighten on certain pages. And but you look at your wrist pad, and at first glance, unless you're looking for something specific, there's no glaring problems. What the fuck was that? Sam says.
Everyone feeling okay? I have some ginger if anyone is feeling a little nauseous. Everyone okay?
Hank raises his hand. Yeah, I will take some of that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just chewing on some ginger. Whatever that is, it was not good. The particles were able to infiltrate our shield, the hull of our ship. I mean, I'm not the only one that saw all that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I would look for something specific. I guess I would look for if there was some kind of contaminant, either on the exterior, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So you immediately start. You have Adam basically run a diagnosis report on the air around you, and there are definitely traces of unknown. That's a great point, actually. Adam says that there are unknown mutagens in the air.
I take a vial out of my overalls and I just swipe the air and close it and then put it back.
Sure, yeah.
I think maybe it's best if everybody goes and does a quick check of their area. We can all come back together.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Make sure everyone's still sleeping is okay as well.
Dr. Hank looks at you.
Caroline.
And he says, I will go to the cryo chamber, make sure everyone's there is okay.
All right, that sounds good. I'm gonna go check on the plants.
Okay, all right.
I'll sweep through the cargo hold, but then mostly just I'm sweeping the entire ship basically.
Okay, yeah. Zuri just asks if you want her to just opposite and meet you in the middle. Yeah, okay, perfect. And she starts to head that way. She gets out this plastic steel knife that she's able to use, and she heads to the other side of the ship. Angela looks at you, Kane. What would you like me to do? What would you like me to check? Just accompany you? Go somewhere else?
I would actually think it'd probably be a quite good idea if you would go and assist. I'm trying to find his name.
Yeah.
Go assist Dr. Mardukas and checking the cryosleep. I'm going to go. Hopefully, we can run some sort of air purification to make sure that this alarming new addition to the ship is taken care of.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And she clearly like not ready for things to go wrong. Like runs after Hank Mardukas. And then Sam looks at you, Captain, and he says, do you want me with you on the bridge, Cap, or do you want to go somewhere else?
You go ahead and head towards the bridge. Start checking
Right.
it out. I'm gonna do my own lap of the ship.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And he
And
runs to the bridge.
A minute after Ronnie leaves, head down to the cargo as well.
Okay, cool. As all of this happens, let's start with Caroline in the hydroponics bay. You head to the hydroponics bay and you get inside. Everything at first glance looks to be pretty normal. What do you do?
I go through and each plant take like a tiny clipping just
Okay.
so I can like individually and like analyze each plant later to make sure they weren't affected.
Yeah.
And then, but I like put that in like, little vials for now. But the main thing I do once everything seems okay is I'll put the air that I took under a microscope and see if with that I can see anything that looks off.
Yeah. You look at the sample under the microscope, and you see pretty much what you would expect to see, except there are these very tiny. I mean, your technology is allowing you to see them, but they're like almost molecule size level. Like, you're not sure exactly what they are. They seem to be maybe biological because they're moving and they're like shifting and they seem amorphous and ever changing.
I as soon as I start this, I would start recording with my eye and like talking through everything that I'm seeing, as well as jotting notes and drawing like as best as I could the kind of particles that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then I would like take another clipping from like the nearest plant, put it in the vial as quickly as possible, and like close it again and like shake it, and then look at it again and see if it's in a small condensed area with the particles, if I can see them reacting to the plant.
Well, first of all, just looking at the plant, even in the like area that's not exactly near the sample, you see signs of these molecules. Like this is like, and you even like you have that air sample that you had. You just like look at the microscope as if there was no sample there, and you see signs of these molecules. You like what you alarmingly and quickly discover is that these molecules are just in the air of this ship. And as this is happening, you look at the selection with the plant, and you see the molecules combining with certain cells of the plant and changing them at a microscopic level.
Don't like that. Okay, then I'll keep the plant in the like test tube and put it back in my pocket just to like keep checking on it to see if it's like more rapid than kind of the larger air exposure that we have. And then I'll tell all my babies I love them and I'm gonna fix them, and then I'll go find Hank and Zuri or Angela at the cryo sleep.
Okay, perfect. Matt, Ronnie, you are checking the cargo hold. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary, but if you want to do a really thorough search, you can do I'll just call it a search check, a surveying check, but I know it's not technically a skill that you are proficient in, but I am going to give you a D8 in this role, as like surveying and like looking for things that are out of the ordinary is definitely something that would be on the security officers.
Okay, I will roll this and roll 20.
Yes, and just so the 7. Okay, perfect. So just so the viewers know, And just so our players are reminded, a 1 and a 2 is a failure, a 3 and a 4 is a mixed success, and a 5 and above is a full success. So with a 7, full success. And as you are traveling throughout the ship, you notice that nothing is out of the ordinary and nothing is not as it should be. But with a 7, in one section of the wall, you feel like you hear something. And you're not quite certain. It's very faint, and it's like a thump, like an occasional thump. Captain, as you come down to the cargo hold, you kind of turn a corner, and you see Ronnie very much paying attention to an area of the cargo hold that you perhaps were heading towards.
I would just walk in and say, how are things looking down here, Ronnie?
There's a thump in the wall.
Thump in the wall?
I put my ear to it. Can I tell if it's something in the wall or maybe coming from another room in the ship, or
It definitely I'll like keep that 7 rolling. It definitely sounded like something that was like relatively close and not something that was an echo from further away, but it has stopped.
What do you mean
Captain,
a thump in the wall? This wall?
this wall here, something here, gone now.
But everything else seems okay. Okay. Well, maybe I'll do your rounds with you just in case it comes back.
I just walk off.
Okay.
I'll
Continuing
just
my search.
follow a few feet behind.
Okay. All right.
I'm like extra specially looking for anything that looks like it would be not normal cargo.
Okay. To the naked eye, without like a thorough search, nothing seems to change. Kane, do you head back to the engine room?
Yeah, I'm heading back to my office. Engine room.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of still going off of the scan of the air that was done.
Yeah.
Adam,
Yes.
please purify the air in this room alone.
Certainly. There's a moment where you hear a very low hissing from inside the vents coming to this room. It lasts for about 10 seconds, then shuts off, and then you hear, I have completed purification of the engine room.
Thank you. And then I'll bring up my wristband and see, or I guess wristband, and see if anything has changed in this room. If that was able to get rid of whatever was going on.
You do so, and it does seem to have. It seems that this air is completely free of mutagens.
Excellent. Adam, go room by room and purify each room individually, please, starting with the cryosleep chamber.
Certainly. I will notify you upon completion.
Great. I mean, that's pretty much all I was wanted to do.
Perfect. As you head to the cryo chamber, Caroline, you are met with Hank and Angela walking away from the cryo chamber. Hank says, Caroline, everybody seemed to be fine. Everyone's vitals were okay. And it seemed to be completely unaffected. He looks at Angela and she's like, yeah, honestly, I expected a little bit of something else. I mean, there was some glitchiness with the systems, but it seemed to fade away after just using them for a little bit.
All right. Well, don't have a conclusion yet, but I would like to request a blood and tissue sample from your both. There, whatever this is that's in the air, it definitely got at least in the plants, and I wanna see if it's getting in all of us as well.
Yeah, certainly, Angela says. Yeah, of course. I should probably go check in with Kane, but then I can meet you in the med bay.
That'd be great, yeah.
Okay.
And the more people you can, if you see Kane, and let him know that I'd like to see everybody that's currently awake. I think those in cryo sleep at least probably in their chambers are safe, but I'll make sure we're all up to snuff.
Okay, yeah, of course. She heads down one hallway, and you and Hank head towards the med bay.
Yeah.
So you head towards the science office slash med bay, and you walk inside. And as you walk inside, you hear this tss that's happening through the vents, and after about 10 seconds, it stops.
Would I at least know that that probably is like an air purification or something
I would
and
say
not abnormal?
Yeah, I would say Kane mentioned the fact that he was. I mean, you
Okay.
did, right? You out loud said you were going to look at air
Yeah,
purification.
I
right?
had said I would have said that I was going to
Yeah,
specifically.
so I mean, yeah,
Okay.
especially as the science officer, that's pretty much immediately the conclusion you come to.
Okay. Well, that's probably a good idea that Kane's purifying the air.
Yeah.
Hank, and I'll take out my notebook and like basically go through all the notes that I just took and my crude drawings of these mutagens that I've seen and just say, well, I don't know what is in the air, but it's reacting with the plants at the very least, and changing them on like a molecular level. So, I don't know what that could mean.
You're messing with me, right?
I wish I was Hank, but no, I'm not.
He immediately rolls up his sleeve and extends his arm.
Thank you. And I'll take the tissue sample, take the blood sample,
Yeah.
and I'll go ahead and get one for myself as well, and then immediately start diving into a microscope. And
Yeah.
basically, I've not stopped recording this whole time.
Of course, yeah, no, yeah, definitely. As this is happening, Captain and Ronnie, you make your way to the bridge. You find Sam at the bridge, and he looks back at both of you. Hey, everybody, the ship clear? Everything good?
One thump.
I don't really know what that means. Is that good or bad, Cap?
Roddy heard a thumping in the wall, but by the time I got there, it had stopped. So
Oh.
maybe we could just check down there every now and then.
Right. Yeah. Well, our trajectories doesn't seem to have been affected, Captain. We're still on our course. Yeah. Is there any specific questions you wanted to search for on the ship, or look, or?
It definitely seems important to find out what Ronnie heard. If we all wanted to maybe take shifts, maybe listening around down there to see if we hear anything. We definitely need to find out how everybody in cryo sleep is doing, and then see what kind of report we can get on what's in the air.
I have everybody meet back in the meeting room.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Adam. And Adam says yes. Then eventually everyone on the ship hears Adam say, "Attention! All crew members requested in the conference room. Meeting in 10 minutes."
Upon hearing that, can I go up to the intercom that I assume it will?
Yeah, you definitely have one in the science office.
Yeah.
For sure.
Captain, can I request that all the crew actually stop by the med bay on their way to the meeting room? I need to take some samples to see how this particles in the air are affecting people.
Absolutely. Everybody, please report to the med bay before the conference room. But we are still meeting in 10 minutes. So.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah,
Head straight to the
so people immediately start making a line towards the med bay. Angela walks into the engineering room like right before these announcements go off, Kane, and she says, "Hey, everybody in the cryo chamber seems to be doing okay. How's the purification coming?"
Oh, excellent. We did a purification of this room first, and apparently it removed all of the microorganisms that were different.
Oh,
So-
fantastic! And right as she like kind of says that, you hear Adam come on the intercom. Engineering Officer Kane, purification on ship is complete.
Thank you, Adam. Are any traces of the microorganisms still existing on the ship?
Yes.
Where specifically?
In the 82 life forms on board.
Oh dear.
Angela says, "What? What?"
That's definitely a conversation that Miss Sue should be notified of.
And then as you guys are like, "What?" you hear over the intercom the announcement, the captain and the science officer's conversation. Oh yeah, she wanted me to tell you about that. So I mean, do we just go to the med bay?
Well, I would think so. I'm quite alarmed about all life forms being infected. All life forms, Adam?
Yes.
Not just... Oh.
All
goodness.
82 life forms on board.
That's definitely not good.
Wait a minute, Adam, what?
I'm about to say.
She looks at you, Kane. Did you say 82?
Well, that's what I wanted to specify. Adam, are you counting perhaps Miss Sue's plants among those life forms?
Negative.
Oh, goodness. Then that's definitely not correct.
All 80 crew members and classified.
Hmm.
Angela's like looking freaked out. What does this mean?
Not exactly sure. This is my first long-term project. I was assured by many people at Stratus that this would be a routine operation, so this is quite alarming.
Okay, well, let's get to the science. The science. Let's get to Caroline's office.
Yes.
She stands up and she just starts walking.
Yeah, I follow her.
Okay. What about the captain and Ronnie? Did you guys immediately head to the med bay science office? What did you do?
So
Yeah.
you're going immediately, yeah. To the
Okay. Does I guess Sam. Sam stays behind. And no, I guess he would follow. He doesn't really have anything else to do, so he would follow. So you check the sample for Hank.
Yeah, I kind of think that as everyone's coming through, Hank is getting samples and like lining them up for me,
Okay.
and then like one by one, I'm checking
Yeah.
the tissue and the blood and taking all of the notes.
So you're checking Hank's sample. The captain and Ronnie come in. You get both of their samples, and Sam, you get his sample. Angela and Kane walk in. Angela says,
Miss Sue, might I see you outside for a moment, please?
Can I wait? I'm checking these
Absolutely
samples.
not.
All right, alrighty then. Okay, sure.
Is
Yeah.
this something that your captain should know?
Captain, you as well. The three of us should converse, please.
Sure. Hank, just complete these samples, and I'll be back to look at them in just a second.
yeah. He looks back up at you, Ronnie, as he's taking your sample, and he says, honestly, these are the best veins I've ever seen. I mean, this is really, it's the easiest to take blood from you. This is great.
I only eat kale.
The three of you step outside the office.
First of all, Captain, I just have to wonder, did anything abnormal happen that you noticed during your sweep of the ship?
Ronnie said that he heard some thumps in the wall downstairs. I'm not sure what they were. I didn't hear them.
All right. Well, just my glasses. I'm not entirely sure what this could possibly mean. However, Adam did do a scan. The air has been purified throughout the ship. That was successful. However,
Good.
apparently the sorry, finding it difficult to breathe. Apparently all life forms, not your plants, Miss Sue, are infected with some kind of microorganism.
Including the people in cryosleep?
Yes.
Hmm.
Adam specifically noted all life forms.
Okay. Well, hopefully Caroline will have some idea of what to do about this.
Yeah, that's what the samples are for, and what I was just getting into. It did seem like they were present in some tissue and blood samples, but I wanted to check everyone's and see what I could hypothesize after that. But
In the interest of time, Miss Sue, I think because you have all of we are aware that everybody is infected.
yeah, now we are. I just wasn't at the time of getting all these samples, but I just still need the time to review the samples to see if I can tell what is wrong.
Right, of course. Does this happen on flights like this?
Well, to be entirely honest, nothing like this has happened on any flight I've been on, but I'm sure there is a procedure and we will follow it and we will be just fine.
I don't want to be rude, Kane, but I should get back to analyzing these
No,
samples
of course,
unless you
of
have
course.
something else.
No, of course you do. Captain, one more small point that I'm so sorry to ask. If the crew in cryosleep is also infected, should they potentially be woken up to be notified about this?
I think that we need to know as much information as possible before waking anyone up.
Right.
So as to not cause a panic. I think a panic of that size would
panicking,
be more harm than help.
Of course. Who would panic? This is good.
Is there anything else?
No, that's everything that I can think of. Everything will be totally fine, just like you said.
Okay, let everyone know I will be in just a moment. I just want to go check one more thing in navigation.
I'm gonna stay out
Sure.
here for a moment and collect my breathing.
And Captain, if it's all right, I might be a little bit more than 10 minutes. I just want to make sure I review all the samples and have something to
Absolutely.
bring to the table. So,
Yep.
But I'll send Hank the results.
As this was happening, and before you separate, we cut back into Ronnie getting his blood taken. And Ronnie, you're just kind of like, as Hank is working, you're looking around the room, being observant. You look down at your left arm that is not having blood be taken. And on your forearm, you notice just like a little, like, baseball-sized lump.
Hate it.
What is this, Doctor?
Yeah, just a second. Then he's...
No, now, what is this?
He looks over. What?
Hold up my arm to him.
Once again, nice vein work.
No,
Give me just a second. And he steps up and he walks over to a microscope. And you're looking at the lump. The lump starts to move up your arm.
No.
I die.
That's a wrap on that, everybody. Great job. Good session.
Great work.
I pull him away from the microscope. What is this on my arm?
You look up to where Hank was and he's not there. And you look down at your hand and you see a couple more lumps on your hands. And they're starting to move under your skin, pushing up. You see the follicles spreading out as they get stretched to their limit as the bumps start to move up your arms.
Is there like a scalpel or something in this? Some sharp object?
Yeah.
I take a sharp object and...
You take a sharp object and you cut at it, and you hear a very high-pitched screeching noise as you cut into your arm. And you reach in, and you can see your own fingers under your skin as you reach into the wound and try to grab whatever is crawling under your skin. And you pull out a 6-inch long centipede that is crawling through your skin. And you look down at your elbows and your shoulder and your arm, and you see more lumps coming up, and you start to feel them pushing on the side of your face. You see one cross your vision as it crawls over your eye, and a horde of them crawl up your throat until you are vomiting the centipedes. You feel their legs scraping against your tongue as they fight their way out of you, and then you snap back and Doctor's taking the blood. All right, seriously, it's very good job. And he slides on over to the microscope. And you look down and you don't see any cuts, any bumps, any lumps.
I just look at Dr. Hank. Doctor.
Oh yeah, by the way, you take a stress point. That wasn't
Yeah.
That's fair, I feel like. I look at Dr. Hank.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just studying his movements. I'm trying to see if there's anything fishy going on with Dr. Hank. Seems like he's in control or pretending.
Yeah, go ahead and roll like an insight check on Dr. Hank. This will be just a regular D6.
Okay, no problem.
Ugly duckly. 2.
Okay.
You are so, and that's -1. Oh, so okay. So what happens is, so you actually break down. So you are trying to understand and like look into Hank, and as you do that, you feel the bugs back on you. You look down and you don't see them. You know they're not there, but it felt visceral and it felt real, and you feel your eyes widen and your pulse starts to race and your breathing starts to quicken as you feel yourself panic and start to lose control over the moment. And you get up and you stand out of the chair, and Caroline, as you're walking back into this room from this conversation, you see Ronnie kind of like starting to breathe heavily and like panic and like stand up from his chair.
Ronnie, how's it going? Are you...
What's going on here? Something's happening to me. Help me.
Oh, hey, whoa, what's going on?
We're gonna help you.
What's going on? Just sit back down, Ronnie.
Yeah, sit down, Ronnie.
Don't touch me. Help me. Don't touch me.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I look around. There was something in my skin. I don't know. I'm seeing something. What's happening to me?
Hey, nothing's under your skin, buddy. That was just a needle. That was just taking your blood. All right, that's all that was.
Something different. There's something on this ship. There has to be. What's happening?
I don't think any of us know that yet. And usually to help you, I do need to touch you, but I'm here to help, Ronnie.
Feel yourself.
Okay.
Your breathing starts to calm just slightly. You're still paranoid. You're still like, your mind is still racing, but you do feel yourself start to calm. Even though you just gained it, your stress points are taken away as you've had this breakdown, but you do still feel the effects of it. You feel, worried and paranoid about what's happening.
With my eye, can I tell if he's like running a fever and like getting like sick that's making him like see things or be all worked up, or does it see him normal?
Weirdly enough, you use your eye and you like immediately kind of just like take like a biometric scan of him. His pulse is racing, and that's causing a little bit of like flop sweat, and so you do see like heat in certain spots, but his body temperature in general is not spiked. It's like definitely not fever spiked. It's like adrenaline spiked. And as you are like scanning him, you see that there are high calcium and creatine levels in his blood.
Okay. All right, Ronnie. Well, I think Hank, you got what you needed. So I think if you're okay, I can make you some.
Yeah. I'll head to the conference room.
What'd you find in me?
That's what I'm about to look for. I
Hank
don't know
like
yet,
makes
Ronnie.
eye contact with you because he did look in the microscope as like as that panicking is happening, and he basically gives you a nod of like it's in there.
Yeah, I haven't looked yet, but that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna look at everybody's samples, and I'm gonna come to the conference room with a full report. All right.
Hurry up. I get up and leave.
Okay. You get up and leave.
Terrifying when he's having a breakdown. Wow.
Yeah, he's a huge man.
He's
As this is happening, Angela sits down and starts to take her blood. She was just like a bystander to this whole thing. And the captain, as you were walking away, you start walking down the hall, and as you do so, you hear crying coming down from one of the hallways in the direction that you're heading.
Okay, before I deal with that, but when I'm far enough away for it not to be heard, is there a point at which that would be possible
To not be heard?
by the people in the other room?
Yeah, easily enough.
I would just say, Adam,
Yes, Captain.
can I get a status report on the valuable cargo we were carrying?
Access code required. You put in your access code that you have. And Adam says, high value cargo. Error.
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
what does that mean?
Either the cargo is missing, or the chamber in which it was held, the scans have been broken.
Can you check that?
Checking. Functionality in high value cargo hold is negative. The cargo hold is unfunctional. It.
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
you okay?
Yes, Captain.
Adam, what was the high value cargo we were carrying?
Access code required. You put in your access code?
Yeah.
High value cargo, Daisy and Duke.
Who are Daisy and Duke?
Main terminal required. This is something that it's like, it requires you to like be either in the captain's quarters or on the bridge to like get any more info.
Okay. So I'm heading toward the bridge, and that's also toward the sound.
Yeah, towards the crying. And we'll say like now you hear it.
Yeah. So I'll cautiously approach whatever door it sounds like the crying is behind.
You turn down a hallway, and in the middle of the hallway, you see a figure dressed in like the the onesies that you guys wear, and it's hunched over. It could be Zuri, and it's hunched over and sobbing.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Very slowly approach and just like put a hand on her shoulder.
You put her hand on her shoulder, and you just hear her say, I'm sorry. And as she turns to look at you, you don't see the black skin of Zuri. You see pale skin, gray hair pushed back. You see you looking at you with blood-red eyes, teeth rotten and falling out, sores open on your face, one so much that you see the rotten teeth through strings of flesh as she looks at you and screams, "Help me!" And then it goes away.
I instinctually take out my stun gun and shoot in that direction, even if there's nothing there anymore.
It just hits the ground.
Kind of shake it off, and I just head to the bridge.
Okay. You head to the bridge, and what do you do?
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
who are Daisy and Duke?
You go to the main terminal, and a display is made. Daisy and Duke are a pair of primates who were put into cryosleep in order to be used on Zeta Prime, basically as mind parrots, like basically as like test subjects for environments on Zeta Prime. It was something that was deemed unethical by the United Earth Coalition, and that is why Stratus hid this aspect of the mission from like the like the manifest and the mission reports, and but basically it looks like upon landing, upon like waking for your landing stint, you would have discovered basically the purpose, as would have Caroline would have discovered the existence of Daisy and Duke and their purpose.
I'm gonna reach my intercom and say, Sam, please come to the bridge.
There's no response.
Sam, please come to the bridge.
No response.
Shit. I'll turn around and start heading back to the med bay where I left everybody.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll go ahead and head to the conference room.
To the conference room. You head to the conference room. Ronnie heads to the conference room. Kane, you stood outside the med bay for a bit. The next thing that happens to you is, as you're sitting there kind of gathering yourself, Ronnie kind of like just bursts out of the med bay and heads to the conference room.
Interesting. Before I head to the conference room, I think I'm going to go back to engineering.
Okay, yeah.
And go through logs to see if there's any other information about this kind of wave that we had.
Yeah. So you go back to the engineering room and you just kind of like start looking through, various diagnostic tests and reports. What specifically are you trying to like find out?
Just general history on anything occurrences like this in the past on any other ships. Happened.
There is definitely no record of anything like this happening in the past. There is a theory known as splayed life, where a planet or a star or something that has, any form of life, and then that planet or object, ship, whatever it be, out in the vastness of space, be destroyed, and through the energy pulse of the explosion that destroyed it, the theory exists that on a molecular level some of that life may still exist. And so it's not unheard of to have these cosmic energy waves of particles and atoms moving throughout the vastness of space while also carrying a record of the life organic that they may have destroyed or brought with them throughout space, and through the various variables of existence are somehow kept maintained throughout this wave, even if it is on a molecular level as they keep going. But for those things to be powerful enough to, go through titanium, like it's almost like what would happen to you would have to be the perfect storm. The only way this organic material would come on board is if it was following through electrons moving at light speed levels so that they are able to penetrate a ship like the Titan's shield or titanium walls. And through that portal created by these atomic level, punctures in the ship, this organic material carried by this wave would be able to enter, and it would be on such a subatomic molecular level that not only would it be able to happen to the ship and the shield, but if it's able to happen to that, it's obviously going to be able to happen to any organic material on the ship. And then you're going down this hole, and then if that's possible, the perfect storm continues, and then you have organic life meeting xeno-organic material from the vastness of space, and the multitudes of possibilities that implies is terrifying.
Huh.
Kane is the perfect one to have read all of that.
Yeah, I'll bring up my wrist pad and I'll just send like that file to Captain Carter.
Okay, yeah.
And just be like, I thought this could be interesting. Smiley face.
Like you get like a
Jesus
forward,
Christ.
like it's like an email forward.
Yeah, it's like I'm forwarding an email.
yeah, love it. No, perfect. Your little wrist pad gets a ding as you're walking to the.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do in the engineering room?
No. After that, I'll turn around and go to the conference room.
Okay. After you get Angela's sample, Caroline, she leaves and heads to the conference room. Hank looks at you. All right, should I just head to the conference room? Is there anything else you need from me? I feel like I should stay here with you.
I want them to not be spooked. If you're there, you can just say I'm on my way, and
Okay.
I'll run these tests and see what I can see. But you said you at least looked at Ronnie's. What did you immediately notice?
Presence of something moving at a molecular level within his blood and interacting with his, in particular, white blood cells. Which is not good, because, as you know, they tend to be good at growing fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I want to give it some time to.
Also,
to
he's
look
the
at these
healthiest
samples.
person I've ever met.
I wouldn't.
Other than those weird mutagens, best blood I've
Yeah.
seen. Best blood by
I mean,
far.
he does have some high calcium and creatine levels, which is worrying.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't see
noticed that
that.
after. It was after his breakdown. I just did a quick scan, but
Interesting.
yeah.
All right, we'll find out what you can find out, but be careful and come join us when you can, okay? You're going to need all the information they're given to.
Yeah,
And he
definitely.
puts a friendly hand on your shoulder and walks out. You start immediately going to work, looking at these samples. Pretty quickly you discover that there is presence of these mutagens throughout all blood samples that you received. And as you are doing that, you're just going through this, you're stretching your neck, it's hard work just like continuously like focusing this much. And you look up as you're like stretching your neck, and in the metal wall in front of you, as the Science and Medbay office would be, it's very clean, it's very sterile, and you see a reflection of you, and you're just kind of like stretching your neck and moving your head around, and you see your reflection not stretch its neck when you did. And as it's looking at you, it slowly starts to lower its head and smile very widely as it stares at you. The smile keeps growing wider and wider until your skin starts to break and crack, blood starting to pour from the edges of these ripped dimples as it just smiles wider and wider at you. And then it slams forward and punches the reflection, and a dent in the wall appears.
I probably like fall back off of my chair at that point.
Yeah. And by the way, you get a stress point. And
Yeah,
Emily,
cool.
I didn't mention it, but what happened to you in the hallway, you also got a stress point.
After I fall down, I'll immediately like touch my face and like slowly come back up.
You feel fine. You can't look right where you were looking because of the the bended metal, and that dent is still there. But you like move to the side, and your reflection, it looks completely fine. You see your bionic eye just kind of like twitching.
I'll like reach out and like touch the dent to see if it's actually like a full dent in the wall.
It is.
I'll turn on thermal vision real quick to see if there's like a thing behind the wall on the other side.
You don't see a thing, but like you're like looking at the whole wall, and in the area where there is a dent, there is like warmth there. It seems to be residual warmth, but there is warmth.
I would then do a quick playback through my bionic eye to see if what I saw was recorded.
Okay. So you look through the playback of your bionic eye, and it comes up as a display on your monitor. And in your bionic eye, you see yourself looking at your reflection, getting scared of your like. You see the reflection like getting scared. It's like having the reaction you actually had in the moment, but you see a dent appear.
I don't like this. And I'll keep recording because now I'm recording continually.
Yeah.
And uploading as often as possible
Okay.
so I can keep recording and
Yeah.
saving what I've been seeing.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'll kind of like steady myself. Just be like, I just gotta get back to work. Just gotta get back to work. Blood samples, everything's fine. Alrighty then.
And as you keep working, we cut back to the conference room, and Captain Jeanette, sorry, and Kane and Ronnie and Angela and Hank all make their way to the conference room.
Well,
Hank speaks up and he says, Dr. Caroline will be here soon. She already told you she might be a little late, but she's looking at the same.
but as she goes over the samples to see what might be done, it was brought to my attention that all life forms on the ship may have been impacted. We don't know how yet, and we don't know what that means.
All 80 people, including the people in the crowd chambers?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure that Caroline is finding a good solution for this. We will all help her in whatever way that we can, but it is my decision to not wake anyone from cryosleep until we have a better idea of what this is.
Ronnie, as you're in here and you're listening to the captain, you realize something. You made it from the cargo hold to the bridge, and you never ran into Zuri. She's also not here. Neither is Sam.
Has anybody seen Sam?
Adam,
Yes.
are Mr. Ryder and Miss Ibarra still on the ship?
Checking. I am not picking up anything from their life detectors.
What, Adam?
Yes, Captain.
Where on the ship were they last detected?
Hank was last detected near the bridge. Zuri was last detected in her quarters.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bridge. If someone would like to go check on Zuri.
I'll go to the quarters. Her quarters.
Okay.
Would someone like to join me?
Yeah, I'll join you, Angela says.
Okay, let's go now.
She kind of like looks back at Kane and she's walking away, like, but she walks with you. Kane, what do you do?
I guess I'm the only one left.
Well, Hank stays behind too, unless Ronnie asks someone to go with him.
You come with me. I point to Kane.
Are you sure that I could help with this?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go too because I'm not gonna be left behind here in this fucking room by myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I just start walking.
Hank
Okay,
looks at
he's
you
a
and
fast walker.
He starts walking too. You make your way to the bridge, Captain. And the bridge is empty.
Adam?
Yes, Captain.
How close are we to where Sam was last detected?
Sam was last detected 10 feet from the bridge room. And you look and you see there are two on either side of the hallway, like right before you enter the bridge proper, two storage closets on either side of the hallway.
take out my stun gun
Okay.
and walk toward one of the storage units.
Well, one of them does seem to have a pool of dark red liquid
Oh.
accumulating at the bottom of it.
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
please have the 3D printer start printing weapons for the crew.
Access code required.
Give my access code.
Yes, Captain. Printing weapon. Is that fucking blood?
I can't think of anything else it would be.
Okay, I'll be standing over here.
All right. I'll go and very slowly open the door.
Well, there is no real slowly. You press the button and it opens.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you
I open
do?
the door. I open the door and like try to take a big step back. Like
You like
immediately.
press the button, take a big step back.
Yeah.
You see what is left of Sam Ryder in this storage closet as his body is been thrown against the wall. His hair is matted with dark red blood. His face seems to have been pushed in and crushed beyond recognition. His limbs, some of them seem to have been contorted and snapped in various areas. And his chest seems virtually flat against the wall. And above his body, you see a vent coming into this room that has been shattered and broken. And there is basically a hole in this ceiling leading to the ventilation system.
Does the ship have any kind of like surveillance?
Yes.
Adam, pull up the surveillance from just before Sam stopped being recorded.
Yes, Captain. You look down at your wrist pad. You see footage of like you guys walking throughout the earlier of the day. It starts fast forwarding, and when you see the cosmic wave go through the ship, all the cameras start to static and fizzle out.
Okay. I'll on the intercom say, can I have one crew member go to the 3D printer and retrieve what's being printed? Everybody else meet in the conference room as soon as possible.
I will go to that.
Okay, as this was happening, we'll say right as you guys arrive to Zuri's quarters, Ronnie and Hank are like basically getting to the door. You hear that announcement. Hey, you just kind of like you say, you know, I'll handle that. Hank looks back and he like gives you a thumbs up. And he walks into the room with you, Ronnie. It's locked, but you have an access code to be able to open it. So you type in the master code, door opens, and you see a horrific sight. You see Zuri, it looks as if she was pulled out from under her bed. And you see there are, her bed has been completely caved in, and from what you can see under the bed, it must be the remainder of her lower half, because her upper half has been pulled away from that after she was cloven in two by the metal bed being crushed. And much like Sam, you see multiple contusion wounds from some kind of blunt force to the head and chest. And right above her bed, you see a vent that very similarly has been caved in and crushed.
I turn to the doctor.
He's mouth open, like catching himself on the doorway. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What did this sub creature, something on the ship? What do you know?
I, what do you mean? I don't know anything. I don't. This is insane. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. And he starts like looking around. What do we do? I gotta go tell the captain. And he just starts running to the conference room.
I'm going to explore the vent a little bit just
Okay.
to see if I can figure out, where it goes, or definitely determine if something came in through that way.
Without even needing to roll, you look up at this vent and you see like scratches and small like dents of something like moving in this vent, both towards this vent and away from this vent.
Okay. I know Zuri had a weapon, right?
She had
Like
a plastisteel knife. Yeah.
yes. Do I see that around?
Yeah.
Okay, I grab that and then head back.
It has blood on the end of it.
Okay, I grab it.
Yeah, but it looks like it looks like she fought back against
Used
something.
it.
Yeah. And then you
Okay.
head to the conference room.
Yeah, there's part of me that wants to just crawl in the vent, but I'm not gonna do that right now.
Okay. As you start to make your way back to the conference room, you feel a wetness on your hand, and you look down and you see a drop of blood on your hand.
I look up.
You look up and you don't see anything, but you feel blood start to pour from your nostrils.
Okay, I try to clean myself up before I see anybody else.
You try to clean yourself up and you start rubbing away at the blood, and you realize the blood is not being wiped away. It's starting to become more viscous and congeal, and you feel it start to pour out of your eyes and your nose, and you start to stumble, and you look at the wall next to you and you see your reflection. You see this blood coming out, and the more you smear it, it stays where it is, and it starts to cover your mouth and your nose, and you start to try to pull at the blood, and it becomes this gel-like liquid that clings to you and starts to wrap around your ears, and the sound is muffled, and your nose and mouth get covered until it is one sleek surface as you're trying to pull at this liquid that is controlling your body, and you feel your vision go black, and you fall to your knees, and you're just trying to inhale, but there's nothing to inhale, and you scream, and then you come to, and you are just on your knees screaming in the middle of the hallway.
Get your shit together, Ronnie. Get your shit together, Ronnie.
And you take a stress point.
I slap myself a few times and stumble back to the meeting room.
All right, you stumble back to the meeting room. Michael, as you head to the 3D printing room, you see, you walk in and you see that Adam is currently printing another pulse rifle. There is one currently done, and the other one is in progress. And as it starts to like make the pulse rifle, you see it starts to like spray this 3D printing ink all over the place, and it starts move rapidly, and the 3D printer starts to spark, and it starts smoking, and it fizzles.
Well, I'll grab the one that's completed.
Okay.
I'll stand there for a moment. Adam,
Yes, Engineering Officer Kane.
do you have access to Dr. Sue's samples that she took earlier today?
Yes, she uploaded the data to the network.
Wonderful. Have those samples ever been identified elsewhere?
Checking. Negative.
Adam,
Yes, Engineering Officer Kane.
Please send a message on my behalf to Stratus.
Yes. Recording.
Hello, this is Kane. There's a strong abnormality on our ship, very likely hostile. My assumption is that to allow such a hostility to reach Zeta Prime would be detrimental to the colony. Please send confirmation back if my assumption is correct. Thank you.
Would you like me to send the message?
Yes, please.
Sending now. Transmission complete. Engineering Officer Kane,
Yes, Adam.
if you are curious of an update,
I am.
we are now down to 80 life forms. Whatever you're doing, it must be working. Engineering Officer Kane,
Yes, Adam.
would you like to record any of your previous statements? Sorry. Correction. Would you like to listen to any of your previous statements from other teams?
Yes. In chronological order, please.
Playing now, and they just start playing as you start to walk and do what you're doing. As this is happening, everybody joins up into the conference room. Captain and Angela are the first to arrive, followed by Ronnie, and then eventually Kane shows up. Dr. Sue, what are I would say definitely in this amount of time you have finished studying these samples, at least what you can do in the amount of time that you feel like you should be spending on it now. If that makes sense what I'm saying. You've recorded the preliminary data.
Yeah, and I think if from just preliminary without doing like further testing on how it reacts to various things, like is there anything that I can like equate that's happening to the affected cells that are combining with this mutinogen?
You sure can, because you look at the
Right.
vial in your chest, and the leaf that you had that had this mutagen on it is now about 3 times the size, darker in color, and the like veins that you can see throughout a leaf are much more prominent. And also that makes you curious, so you go back to Hank's sample, the first sample you took and looked at, and his calcium levels are increased, his creatine levels have increased, and there seems to be more presence of mutagen in the blood sample, but not enough to like visibly change the way the sample looks, which leads you to the conclusion that it seems that the human cells are being affected, but at a slower rate than, say, the botany cells.
Okay, and then I think the one test, just because I saw something that didn't happen, is I assume we would have some sort of brain scan. So I'd like to scan my own brain and see if the mutagens have also gone to my brain and specifically what areas they're hitting.
It's hard to see the mutagens themselves, but you see an increase of activity, even like flashes of increase of like activity in dormant areas of the brain, but specifically in the areas of the brain that control the 5 senses and motor functions. You see an increased an increased level of activity that is definitely abnormal.
Okay. Okay, I'll have all the samples together, continually upload all the data so I can like bring it up on the data pad in the conference room, but I don't want to bring the samples with me except the plant.
Yeah.
And I'll like lock them away in a safe of some kind, that's a little bit more secure than just leaving them out and about.
Mhm.
And then basically make sure all of my data, even my like recordings and everything, are uploaded, and I'll head to the conference room.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just say, about like after Kane shows up, like a minute passes, and then Dr. Sue shows up for that amount of time. So, the four of you and Angela have arrived back in the conference room.
Captain Carter, unfortunately, the 3D printer did not work. It stopped mid printing a second pulse rifle.
It printed a first.
It did. I have it.
Okay.
We're printing, we're printing rifles. Why?
My rifle's printed.
I'm not sure how it happened, but we found Sam's body.
Zuri is dead.
Zuri.
Oh my.
Okay,
Oh my.
I wasn't sure when or if it was appropriate to tell you
Where's
all this.
where's Hank?
Hank was with me, but left
Where did he
while
say he
I
was
was
going?
exploring. He was panicking and said he was coming here, I believe.
Why didn't you stay together if you were together?
He was a little panicky, and I needed to explore the scene of the crime. I turned around, he was gone.
I think it's best from here on out that we stay at least in pairs.
Yeah.
I'll say over the intercom, Hank, please report to the conference room. Adam,
Yes, Captain.
where is Hank?
I am not reading anything from his life detector.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
I wasn't sure when or if to say anything, but when we woke up from cryo sleep, I was informed that there was some valuable cargo on the ship. I just went to find out more about that, and it turns out there were 2 more life forms on the ship, which, if everybody has been impacted, might include them as well. 2 primates.
Primates? Why? Why would we have apes on the ship? That doesn't make any sense.
Apparently, they decided not to leave it up to us or the rest of the world whether we would experiment on animals when we get to the new planet. They made that decision before us.
Well, that is awful.
And now they are missing.
On top of everything else, we got some loose apes to have to wrangle.
I don't know exactly what it would be, but it seemed like whatever attacked Sam came from the vents. Adam,
Yes, Captain.
do you detect any life forms in the vents?
I have no scanners in the vents.
So,
Would you like to know where I last read Hank Mardukas?
Yes, please.
Dr. Hank Mardukas was last detected in the conference room. And as he says that, the ceiling, the vent above you, collapses, and you see Hank's bloody body land on the table right in the middle of all of you, head torn from his body as it lands separately and bounces off his beaten chest and falls to the ground. And that is where we are going to take a little bio break. So we'll be right back for more spooky space fun. So stand up, stretch, get some water, but stay tuned because we'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back and it's spooky time. Or continuing to be spooky time. So last we left off, Hank Mardukas' body fell through the vent up above. You hear a rumbling in the vent that disappears, and this happens to you. All of you, upon this happening to you, all of you take a stress point.
Okay. How many stress
Okay.
points until it's like a breakdown?
3. So you're at 2, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
at 2.
you and Ronnie are at 2. Captain and Kane are at 1. Oh, Captain, yeah, you're at 2. So Kane's at 1. Um,
Could
Yeah.
could I have caught a glimpse of a shape of heat if I looked up with thermal vision?
Once again, because you didn't see the actual creature itself and you're only seeing the residue, I will say you can't see like the outline of the creature because you can't like look through metal with your thermal vision. It's not that crazy. But what you do see is that whatever it was large enough to take up pretty much the entire vent.
Okay. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Do we know where the vent leads to? I would like to find whatever did this. I will crawl into the vent if need be.
Kane would definitely know and would also maybe be upset by the answer, which is everywhere. The ventilation system runs throughout the entire ship.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that connects everything. And there's like there's like parts of it that you can try to get Adam to like cut off, but the ventilation system goes throughout the entire ship. You get in the ventilation system.
I would start examining Hank, but if there's like a cloth or something, I'd cover his head before I did.
I was about to say, I think you heard about the removal of the head, so he is dead for sure.
Yeah, I would just cause of death is
yes,
what I'm
no,
looking
sure.
for of like blunt force, something.
Yeah, roll
claws,
a medicine check, which will be a D8 for you.
Rolling. My first roll.
And the risk of I haven't done the risks. Sorry, Matt. The risk of this roll. I know it's not like it's your system, but the risk of this rolls is if you fail it. Well, one, you're gonna have a breakdown, and two, you feel like this is gonna be helpful information for your group, and if you can't figure this out, you are gonna have a hard time, like, understanding exactly what's going on here.
Cool.
4, so it's a mixed success. So with a 4, what I will say is, you know that he died of multiple blunt force traumas, like multiple wounds. They seem to be made from some kind of like rounded object. And it seems that he was fighting during this time. But with a 4, that's pretty much all you get.
I would take under fingernail samples and see if he scratched the attacker, and then I'm kind of muttering as I'm examining, so I say most of that out loud.
Yeah, Angela is has like backed up until she hit a wall and slid down, knees to her chest. She's like freaking the fuck out.
All right, you took my sample. What did you find on me? Seems important information to know in this moment.
Right. So the findings that I was able to it wasn't definitive. I'm not familiar with whatever this thing is that is in all of us, but it definitely seems present in all living organisms. When plants were affected specifically, I took a quick sample of this one and I pull out the leaf and show everyone because of the size, and I believe because it's a plant and not human or other species, it rapidly took effect on this. But my guess is that all of us will soon look similar to this leaf and grow in size, I'm not sure exactly what else, but it seems to be affecting our calcium levels and our serotonin levels, as well as parts of our brain and our senses. I don't know about anyone else, but I have seen some rather disturbing things. Had a little, I don't know, a vision, whatever you may call it, but
Okay, so the way I see it, we have two problems. One is the primates that are impacted by this and maybe causing some of this, and the other is actually curing whatever is wrong with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Kane, your wrist pad beeps, and you look down and you see a message. And it is an email format, set to urgent. You know, it's got the red exclamation point. And then just in all caps says affirmative.
If I got some samples from I think what may have attacked Hank, and I would love to go back and study those a little bit if I can look at the other deceased and maybe get some more samples. I can confirm that maybe these apes were what is attacking, and this mutagen is affecting them more rapidly than us. But
Of course, take Hank with you, or no? Take Hank with you.
Take his head, I'll take his body.
Take
Stay in pairs.
take Ronnie with you. We don't want to go anywhere
Hmm.
on our own right now. Adam, are you able to detect the location of any life forms outside of this room?
Outside of this room, I detect currently 0 life forms.
How many life forms do you detect in this room?
In this room, I detect 5 life forms.
Adam,
Yes.
Okay.
were you not including the? Sorry. Are there no life forms detected in cryosleep?
There are currently 80 life forms detected in cryosleep. My apologies.
70.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 73. No,
Uh-oh,
72.
guys, Adam's
72.
malfunctioning.
There are currently 72 life forms detected in cryosleep.
Well, that's good. At least those in sleep are stable.
Before we go to check on the sample,
Yes.
none of you in here is an
Yes.
android, is that right?
Yes. Yes. No.
Adam?
No.
Adam?
Yes. Affirmative.
I should. That doesn't sound good.
Adam, are you able to seal off the vents?
Which vents would you like me to seal off? Keep in mind, oxygen will only be provided to the room that they are not sealed off in.
Thanks. Seal off vents to the conference room and the medical lab.
Can the people in cryosleep? Does the pod enable them to breathe, or would they need oxygen from the?
Oxygen does not need to be in the room. It just needs to be in their pods. Yeah.
Captain, I would suggest we seal off the cryosleep as well. If they can breathe on their own, then we
yes.
should keep them safe.
Yes, any vents in any room where anyone's in cryosleep, seal those off as well.
Error.
Adam, can I get a status report on you?
My functionality is currently at 81%.
Oh no. That sounds.
Kane, is that something you can fix?
That's something I can go do.
Right.
Okay.
Me and Ronnie will head to the med bay. That's where you can find us.
I'll
the
stay
three
with
of you
Kane.
stay together.
Kane, do you
Or
know
Angela,
how to
if
use
you
that
wanna
rifle?
come with
I was going to
us?
say, Angela, if you could please stay with the captain.
Angela's looking at Ronnie very incredulously. And then she walks over to the captain.
Well, I'll be coming with you, Kane.
Okay, great. I'm going to engineering.
Just before we leave, I want to write down, tear off a piece of paper from somewhere and write down my access code.
Okay.
And give it to Caroline.
Okay.
In case you need it.
All right. Thank you.
I walk up to Angela.
Uh-huh.
She's looking at me funny. And I'm just kind of looking at her. And I look back at the crew. Can anyone vouch for her?
Vouch for her how?
I don't know. If there's something killing us, we need to make sure that all of us are not compromise, and
Are you accusing me of killing those people?
no.
I think we would have noticed blood or something on her.
Well, then what
She's
exactly are you
responsible.
accusing me of?
I
You're the one
believe
over
that
here
they're...
asking if...
What were you gonna say?
Why did you ask if someone was an android?
Yes, why did you ask that?
I have it on good authority that there is an android on the ship.
Who told you that? Stratus specifically did not include androids on the ship. Every room needed to be a human. It's for the colony.
I have sources. Maybe we should figure out if one of us is an android before we depart from each other.
Non-Stratus sources?
Nope, Stratus sources. They are legit. I believe that this is 100% true.
Why would Stratus say that they were...
Well,
So you're
Caroline
saying
got blood and tissue samples from everyone, right?
yeah,
actually...
I think I did. Did I not?
Nope.
Okay, anyone who has not given Caroline a blood and tissue sample should go do that. That should be the first
I believe
priority.
that you did miss me. I will provide a blood and tissue sample, yes.
Angela?
Yeah, Hank took mine.
Let's do it again.
Did he?
Hank's not around to verify for you.
This is... Okay, I do believe that this is quite important. However, there are other circumstances that are, I believe, more pressing, and
agree.
such as people losing lives.
Yes, Caroline, when you get to the lab, let us know over the intercom who you need for samples.
Yeah, definitely.
Captain,
Yes, Adam?
You okay?
movement has been detected in the cryo chamber. In pod 39, 42, 53, 55, 56, and 78.
Adam, seal off that room.
Confirmed.
I think we should maybe all go check this out.
I would like to go to engineering if possible, so I can attempt to restore access to security camera feeds.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So you make your way to engineering, and everybody else heads to the cryo chambers.
I would still want to go to the med bay.
Okay, so you're heading to the med bay. Ronnie, where are you
Remember
going?
when I said nobody be alone?
Ronnie, where are you going?
I am...
Angela's going with
Kane?
Caroline to the Caroline to the med bay.
The captain told me to go to the med bay, so I'm going to the med bay.
And the captain goes to the cryo chamber.
Just me.
Okay. As this is all happening, we'll start with you, Captain. You make your way to the chamber that has the cryopods. You make your way just outside the door. And Adam says, "Would you like me to reopen ventilation to the cryo chamber?"
Not yet. Is there like a window in the door?
There is a window in the door, yeah. Just so
Not
you
yet.
are aware, you will not be able to breathe if I do not restore ventilation.
Yes. I'm gonna peek in through the window first.
You see the cryopods, and in some of the cryopods, you see like an occasional like jerk of movement.
All right, Adam, restore ventilation and unlock the door.
Complete.
I'll walk in and go slowly up to one of the pods that I saw movement in.
You see one of the crew members, a human body, and every once in a while, it just you'll see the elbow like jerk and the hand shakes.
Adam, are these crew members still in cryosleep?
Yes, Captain. Their bodies are experiencing high levels of activity, and the quadrants of the brain that control the senses and motor functions.
Um, all right, I'm gonna leave the room.
Okay?
Adam, seal off ventilations and lock these doors again.
Yes.
I will head to Caroline just to see if
As
she knows
you
anything.
start heading that way, you look down at your hand and you see a couple like black spots on your hand. And you bring them up for inspection, and you see that they're on the like web upper part of your hand where the thumb is webbed to the pointer finger. And as you pull them closer, you see that they're not spots, they're holes in your skin. And you start to follow that and turn your hand over, and you see a proverbial beehive of holes
Oh.
in the palm of your hand. And you see it growing on your arms. And underneath these holes, you see something slithering. And you start to scream and run as you get another stress point and have a breakdown. You fall to your knees in the middle of this hallway and you start hyperventilating, and you start succumbing to your fear. You feel yourself back up into the wall. You pull your knees to your chest as you're looking at your hands, and we will come back to you. Kane, you make your way to the engineering office, and you step in the room. Everything is as you left it. What do you do?
I would like to, if I can, try and find a chart or simulate a chart of the path at which we were hit by this wave and sort of the direction it hit us, and if it would be traveling anyway.
If the wave would be continuing to travel, or like, are you trying to find its forward trajectory or where it came from?
Its forward trajectory.
Okay, its forward trajectory. It seems to have come across your ship. This is the first time anybody has looked at this. And what's interesting about this is, I mean, you were in the middle of the ship, so it was kind of hard to tell. You did not hit this wave. This wave hit you. It started in the back of the ship and moved forward through the front and continued on a path past you. And it did so at an angle that your current path is like you're infinitely going in opposite direction.
Great. I still would like to relay all this information, send it to Stratus, and under the basically just letting them know like this is an area to avoid.
Okay, yeah.
Potential contamination on future trips for whenever the colony does get here, to avoid, so that the colony itself is not getting affected by this. All right. So after I've relayed that message, Adam.
Yes, Engineering Officer Kane.
Is it possible to shut down all oxygen throughout the ship?
Yes. Doing so requires high security clearance.
Has Stratus given me that clearance?
Yes, you do have an override code.
Excellent. Please shut down all oxygen.
Doing so will take some time to come into effect. 1 hour.
We are further than 1 hour out from Zeta Prime, correct?
We are 5 years from Zeta Prime.
Excellent. Please shut down all oxygen.
Beginning the process. I will notify you upon completion.
Thank you, Adam. I'll start working to restore you to full optimization.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Should I cut off the Bruce life support?
Yes.
Noted. Beginning the process.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Kane. And as this is happening, you hear a clang coming from behind you.
Clang, clang, clang. That's right.
And you instinctively look behind you, and you don't see anything, but you hear something.
I'll get out the pulse rifle that I did get.
Okay. What do you do?
Adam, please detect any other life forms in this room and their location.
I currently detect 0 life forms other than you. Ironic.
Very.
The
Adam,
vent breaks down, and from the dust of the metal and from the movement of the air, you see a figure rise. Bipedal. Walking towards you. You see sharp fangs, and you hear. And appearing in the hallway coming towards you, you see an ape-like creature. The high levels of calcium and creatine have been definitely apparent in the increased bone structure. The fingernails on its paws turned into sharp claws. Its fangs longer than normal. It seems even hairier than normal as it starts to head down. I mean, it's a bit of ways. It's like 20 feet down the hallway, but it is landed, and it is starting to make its way towards you.
I will aim my pulse rifle at it and just quickly say, Adam, in case of emergency death, please prepare transfer of consciousness.
Yes, of course. And he gets that process started. Go ahead and roll a shooting check, which is a D6 for you because you are not proficient in shooting.
Yeah, I'm not that great at it.
That is a 3. That is a mixed success. So you hit this creature. You see a bit of the shoulder and fur get blown back by a hyper propelled pulse of air, and blood even sprays on the wall behind it, and it just looks at you, and it gets angry, and it is sprinting towards you now on all fours, tearing away at the metal. Rah! Just like screeching growl as it heads towards you.
Is there any... So, just trying to get context of the ship. Am I close to the exterior of the ship at all?
In the engine room, no, because you're like... So, let's say the ship is a hot dog, and the engineering room is like inside the hot dog towards the back where the engines are. So it's like you're like right in the middle of the rear of the ship.
Okay. So, like, me hitting the walls with a gun would not expose it to space.
No, and specifically, the air rifles are meant to not really be able to go through the titanium walls.
Gotcha. Cool. I mean, I guess the only thing I can really do is just try and hit it again.
Okay, yeah. Roll another shooting check. And the risk of this is you undercoming a good chunk of harm.
Sure, definitely.
And that is a natural 1. We will come back to you. We get back to the med lab, and what exactly do you get started doing, Science Officer Caroline? Do you immediately take Angela's blood? Do you start looking at the samples from under the fingernails? What do you do?
I look at the samples I took because I know Hank and myself well enough that like we would have labeled who they came from.
Yes.
And so I like open up the locked area that I had kept them all in.
Yeah.
And like reviewed them, seeing who I missed,
It's
which
one person.
which I'm assuming is Kane.
It was Kane.
Cool. I note that. Lock it. Turn to Angela. Say, I did get a sample from you, so I don't need another one. The only
See?
one
I told you.
currently missing is Kane, though. I think he was just doing he was an engineering or something, but
Well, if we're
I'll let
missing,
you figure that out. I'm gonna start looking at the sample that I took from Hank's fingernails and see if I can confirm that it is the ape that is attacking us.
Angela like nods your head and like looks over at you and says, "Let me guess, because we didn't get his blood, you're gonna say that." Oh, she's not saying that. Let me guess, because we didn't get his blood, you're gonna say that he's the android now, Kane. That guy is a nervous wreck. Okay, I've never met someone so neurotic.
Perhaps, but I think we should be careful.
I think we should be careful about you. Just looks like you're looking to hurt someone in a time where we're trying to protect everybody.
I'm looking to hurt the creature that's killing the people on the ship. Do you have a problem with that, Angela?
No, of course not. But I just want to make sure that that is what you're doing.
It is what I'm doing. What are you doing, Angela?
I was brought here because I was being accused of being an android, so I'm trying to prove that that's not right. What else do you need from me?
Come with me to go find Kane.
Fine. Doctor, you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be good.
Alright. Two of you.
I hand the weapon that I found from Zuri to Caroline.
Okay. You hand... Yeah, the plastic knife, yeah.
Oh, okay. As a bloody knife. Thank. Whose blood is this? Did you stab someone?
No, it's most likely Zuri's blood. This was her weapon. You can use it to defend yourself.
Why would her own blood be?
Well, she used it to defend herself, and it didn't seem to work too well, but maybe you'll have better luck.
Sure, no, I'm just saying that if she used it to defend herself, this is probably the attacker's blood, but that's fine. I'll do my thing. You do yours.
Well,
come on, let's go find Kane. He shouldn't be alone. Come on.
All right, I leave.
Okay, she starts to head out.
I would get this blood from the knife to examine, and then I would also specifically go back and get out Ronnie's blood.
Okay.
To see if everything is acting more quickly for him, since I noticed that Hank's was happening rather rapidly.
Yeah.
And so I would use like Hank's and his and compare to see if someone like Roddy would like be acting more quickly.
So you find multiple things. One, Ronnie's blood is being affected at the same rate pretty much as everybody else.
Okay.
You also notice that the tissues and blood from the knife are definitely primate in origin, but they seem to have been rapidly affected by these mutagens.
Can I tell if it's just like the plant versus us versus primate kind of thing, or is there something else? Like, is there something weird about the primate that doesn't seem primate? Like they were affected by something else, and that is causing this.
No, it definitely seems that it's like there's something that you would probably be able to discover upon like a few like days or even months of research as to like exactly what the difference is, but it's something on like a DNA level of like the difference between like it just seems to be affecting the humans less or in a different way, or
I would then go to the intercom and just announce to the whole ship, confirmed that it is the apes likely attacking everyone. The samples I got from Hank and from the ninth Zuri was defending herself, confirmed that it is primate. This whatever's happening to us has happened to them much more rapidly, similar to the plant. I'm gonna continue some tests and see if I can counteract it in some way. I'll be in the med bay, and I'll just start experimenting and see if I can counteract it in some way.
So as you like finish that, the medbay door opens and the captain walks in. But for now we cut away from the two of you. And Ronnie and Angela, you two approach I mean, you don't even bother to go to the crew's quarters. You head to the engineering room. And you walk into the engineering room, and you see a ghastly sight. You see the body of Cain Talos destroyed and ripped apart. You see white liquid that has been thrown all over the walls and all over the ground. And very quickly, your suspicions are confirmed that Cain was an android, as his body is metal and plastic in places and bent. And you actually see that less time was taken on Cain's destruction, maybe because of this, or maybe you're not sure. But that's what you discover in the engineering room. And Angela freak. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What do we do?
All right, calm down, Angela.
And you see the
Now,
pulse rifle is there as well.
I pick up the pulse rifle.
Uh-huh.
I look to Angela.
What do we do?
All right. We're gonna try to follow the tracks to see if we can figure out what happened to Cain.
He's dead. He was an android. He's an android? This is crazy. As the two of you immediately start to like look around for the tracks, you see up above in the hallway, a little bit away from the doorway of the engineering room, a collapsed vent and a hole in the ceiling.
All right, Angela, I'm going up into the vent.
What?
Stay down here. Look around for anyone coming by. Do you know how to use a rifle?
I mean, I took the same basic training that everyone else did, but this is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but we can't do anything about it until I go up into this fence. I hand her the rifle.
Okay, Ronnie, I'm really sorry, okay? Be careful.
I start climbing up the vent.
All right, as you start climbing, Cain, you open your eyes and immediately see a cryo chamber lit in front of you. Unlike the humans, you do not have a big long tube down your throat providing, nourishment. You don't have a lot of the same capability or same aspects. And as is usually protocol, the other Cain is not standing in front of you and opening the pod chamber. And you are very confused until all of a sudden, in the port that is connected to your head, the cord ramps up with data and you feel yourself surge, receive all of the information, and you are completely aware of everything.
Oh gosh.
The last thing you remember is Daisy ripping you apart.
Okay. Which body am I in?
You are currently in Team 1's body.
Oh. Delightful.
So you still look like, the facial features are mainly Cain. You don't have any glasses. Actually, this Cain is the security officer for this team. And so you have a bit more of a build, and your blonde hair has been cut into somewhat of a crew cut, but with a little bit longer on top. Yeah.
Great. I'll get out from my pod.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my way to.
You do you notice that it's not affecting you, but you do notice that there is no oxygen in this room.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wait, you would know that though anyway.
Yeah. Would like to make my way to the bridge.
Okay, yeah. You start making your way to the bridge. We cut back for now to the captain and Caroline as she has entered the science med bay. What are you guys up to in there?
Hi, Captain.
How's it going in here?
Like I just said, I confirmed that it seems like it's those two apes that are wreaking havoc on everyone. For whatever reason, they've reacted much more quickly than we have to whatever this thing is. Ronnie and the other person,
Angela.
Angela. Ronnie and Angela went to check on Kane. Um, it was confirmed I am missing his sample. I don't want to say what that means either way, but he just didn't stop by earlier.
Mhm.
But there's
It
that.
it appears that um, many of the crew members in cryosleep are moving.
Well, that's odd. That shouldn't be. I mean, if they're affected by this as well, I mean, it could just be an involuntary movement,
Mhm.
as the brain is a bit more active and all the senses are a bit overloaded, but
Uh-huh. Um, yeah, Adam,
Yes, Captain.
how many of the crew members in cryosleep seem to be active?
Of the members in cryosleep, currently 25% are showing signs of movement.
Adam, is this movement affecting their cryosleep? Are they
Only one cryo chamber seems to have been opened.
Adam, it's still sealed and no oxygen in there, correct?
Correct.
Was the is is that person okay? Are they in cardiac arrest without oxygen?
No, Kane is fine. He is heading towards the bridge.
Pain? How is I'll be damned, I guess. Ronnie was right. Never thought I'd say
Oh,
that.
um, okay.
Uh,
You hear a thump exactly like near where the dent in your wall is. And then it gets a little bit louder, and you see it. You don't see it, but you hear thumping moving up from where the dent is, and then into the ceiling to basically like over the med bed.
where I assume a vent is.
There is a vent there.
uh. Oh, Lord, Lordy. All right.
Um, are there Adam?
Yes, Captain.
Are there any existing weapons stored anywhere on the ship?
The only weapon existed previously is in the hands of security officer Ronnie.
Um,
The
well,
new 3D printed rifle is in the hands of second in engineering, Angela Cortez.
Okay.
The vent starts to like push a little through the ceiling.
Captain,
Adam, please seal off the vents in this room.
Error.
oh shit.
Pushes again.
We should get out of this room.
The vent falls through, causing debris to fall all over the bed, and all of you see a large ape-like creature as with a shoulder bit that has been blown off turn to look at you. What do you do?
Knowing that, hearing upon those, I would have a hand in my pockets and I would have one on each of the two syringes that I have.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I see it, I'd plunge both into this ape.
Okay. Roll a you're definitely not used to giving them in this kind of
Yeah, that's
capacity,
fair.
so I would say roll a d6 for this.
Okay.
And
I
the
was
risk
doing
of
this,
this,
I would just-
the risk of this roll is harm will become you if you fail.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I would over the PA say, all crew to the med bay with your weapons.
Okay. 4. That is a mixed success. Oh wait, 4 minus. How many stress points do you have?
2.
That's a 2. That is a failure.
No.
So you come up to stab this creature, and in the face of this horrifying visage, you feel utter fear. Your arms just fall to your side as you just stare blankly at this ape-like creature, and it swings its arm and slams into you, and you go flying, and you hit the wall, and you feel that a couple ribs snap. I mean, you're not outright dead. You're just like, you've taken a big hit. Your ribs immediately smash. There's 2 syringes. One of them is completely shattered. And is on the ground, but you did maintain grip of the other. And then the ape, after doing that, immediately looks over at the captain as its next threat. What do you do?
All I have is a stun gun, so I can take out my stun gun and try to shoot it.
All right, roll a d6. And the failure of the risk of failure is harm falling upon you. That's a 3 minus.
Well, I had 3, but then I panicked, so does that reset?
It reset, yeah, so is it minus anything?
Okay, so 0.
So it's still a mixed success. By the way, you like freezing in fear was your breakdown, JMO, so your stress points are now at 0 as well.
Cool.
So you freak out and you shoot your gun. It slams into the ape, who kind of like, it hits it right in the face with just like pulse of electric energy, and you feel it like take that and like convulse for a second, and it starts like clawing at its own face, and then because of this, it jumps up into the vent and starts like running away. And you hear just a distant like.
Shit.
I'll run over to Caroline.
Okay, as this is happening, Ronnie, crawl up into the vent. You immediately see pretty close by why there was an error in shutting off the vents. A lot of the like hatches that could be shut have been like the vents themselves have been like bulged out and pushed as these creatures have like made their way through the vents. So there's just like, in a lot of the places, there's like not an area for anything to be sealed. But what do? You just start making your way through the vent?
Yep, my gun out,
Okay.
Crawling through the vents, trying to. Did I hear the captain's message about going to the med bay with the weapons?
Yep.
Okay, I would, if I know how to get to the med bay via vents, I would head that way.
Okay, sure, yeah. Angela just like shouts that she'll like run along the bottom of the but basically like head that way as well.
I don't respond.
Yeah, great. As you are making your way to the med bay, you hear a loud bang, like in the direction that you're heading, and you hear growling and shouting, and then you hear the faint sound of a stun gun go off. It's just like crackle of electricity, and then you hear more growling, and then more thumping, and in the vent, about 30 feet from where you're standing, you see a creature appear like in this intersection, like this T intersection, and like you see it like almost like checking itself and like patting itself and like breathing heavily, and it looks in the direction that you're not, and then looks over, starts looking towards your direction. What do you do?
I shoot it.
All right, roll a shooting check. This is a D8 for you. Risk is harm my. Oh, critical success. So you shoot your gun, and immediately the pulse rifle blast hits it right in the chest, and you hear this like howl of pain as it falls backwards and lands on the ground. You see it fall right through a vent and land in the hallway below as it howls in pain, and that howl echoes and echoes throughout. You all hear it in the medbay office. You even hear it on your way to the bridge, Kane. And in response, all of you, especially you, in the vent, Ronnie, hear a loud just like this loud screech, deep and guttural, that emanates throughout the ventilation system in the ship in response to its mate call.
Cool.
Okay, I will leave the vents and go down to where the ape is that I just shot. Make sure it's dead.
You jump down and limping away down the hallway and like starting to turn a corner, dragging a screaming, thrashing Angela Cortez is this ape as it starts to like run away and like basically like head back the direction that you like it landed and then ran forward.
Okay, I am going to chase after and try to take another shot if I have a clear shot.
Yeah, is like it turns the corner, but you sprint as fast as you can and like slide past the corner with your rifle up just to hope that you catch it in this hallway. You do. Roll another shooting check.
Okay. I have 2 stress, so.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 6 minus 2 is 4, so it's still a mixed success. So you roll and it hits the ape in its back. And the ape like twists Angela and itself and like falls back onto the ground and lands right on top of Angela. And you hear her kind of like, ugh! And the ape lands on the ground and starts to breathe incredibly slowly.
Okay, I run up and I don't know. I shoot it in the face.
You run up, not focusing on Angela first, just taking this moment to take care of your enemy, double tap, and the brains blow out the back of the, like, and very similar, especially because you come up right to it, very similar to the pressurized, gun in No Country for Old Men. You place the pulse rifle right to the head of this creature. A small red hole appears as the brains splatter out the back, and it is dead.
Okay, I try to pull Angela out from underneath.
You do so, and she is okay, but she says that like her hip is broken. Like there's something like bad with her hip, and it's hard for her to stand and walk.
Where's the gun I gave you?
She like slides it out from under the ape.
I grab the gun and pick her up, and I head towards the med bay.
Okay, you just do that. And while all of this is happening, Kane, you finally make it to the bridge. What do you do?
Adam, please sail off the bridge.
Yes, Adam is off.
Adam, please don't alert the other crew to my whereabouts from here on out.
Yes.
Adam, is it possible to bring us out of Lightspeed?
Yes. Doing so will take approximately 5 minutes.
Affirmative.
Would you like me to start the process?
Yes, please.
Proceeding. You immediately all feel a like jolt in the ship. Just one firm jolt. And then slowly but surely the low hum that is ever present on this ship slowly starts to fade. Do you do anything else on the bridge while all this is happening?
I think I will find a quiet corner that isn't immediately visible from them. If they try to come to the door,
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to be immediately visible.
You just calmly walk up to the door, turn your back, put your back up against the door, and just slink down and like sit on the ground, because if they look, they're not gonna they won't be able to have an angle to look down on you. So as this is all happening, Captain, you go to check up on Caroline.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I have a couple broken ribs, but yeah, I'll be okay. I just need to patch myself up real quick, and I'll use my
let me
med
help.
pack.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. easily enough, you're able to, like, you have this like wrapping that's almost like an ace bandage that once you complete it, it kind of expands and tightens itself to really just like hold that area firm. So it's not able to just like heal your broken ribs, but it's able to allow
Sure.
it cuts off circulation enough and like allows you to have some movement there. You
Well,
all hear like growling and a couple of like pulse rifle shots coming from it, like from a distance.
Are you well enough to go help, or would you like to stay here?
I know I'm a lousy shot, and I feel like maybe I should just keep working on a cure. I mean, we're all done for if whatever's happening to those apes happens to us eventually.
If either of them come back, you call immediately.
Yeah, I think I'll seal off this room, and I think we got a couple oxygen tanks, and I'll even just turn off the oxygen until. And if the apes come in, well, I won't be able to breathe. So.
Adam,
Yes, Captain.
please alert me of any major changes in Caroline's vitals.
Yes, Captain.
Adam, as soon as the captain leaves, please seal the med bay and
Error.
the vents as well. Oh, god damn it.
Do you actually think you can find a cure?
I have no idea, honestly.
As you are debating this, Ronnie turns the corner with like a very hurt Angela in his arms and 2 pulse rifles.
Sweet
What?
baby Jesus. Oh my god. Okay.
One
bring
of
it
the
here,
apes
bring it
is
here.
dead. Kane was an android, but we don't have to worry about them anymore. They were destroyed.
I don't think they were completely destroyed.
I think there was a second Kane in the cryo chamber. He woke up. Or they woke up. Or she woke up. I don't know. They could even look different now. I don't know.
You said one of them is dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ronnie, he fucking killed it. He actually killed it. It was huge. It was huge.
Well done, Ronnie.
Yeah. Maybe we just wait here and strengthen numbers, and I'll try to get something together to fix this. I feel like if we all separate again, we're just gonna get picked off by this last ape that,
Yes.
by the sound of it, seems pretty upset.
I say we stay here.
All right. Well, I'll have to put you all to work, and I'll start like giving Ronnie directions on how to help and patch up God, why do
Angela.
I keep forgetting her name? Angela.
Yeah.
Patch up Angela, and then I'll have the captain help me with like some samples and testing, and just like get right to work.
Yeah, amazing. As this is all happening, Adam comes online. Science officer, Caroline Sue.
Oh, yeah, yes, Adam. Wow, he's never actually addressed me before. What's up?
There are no life forms detected in the cryosleep chambers.
None?
Correct.
Sorry, Adam. I'm not sure I understand you correctly. Are you saying that everyone that was in Kairos sleep is deceased?
Correct.
Cause of death, please.
Lack of oxygen.
They should have been fine in their chambers without the oxygen.
The oxygen to their cryo chambers was shut off.
Adam, who shut off their oxygen?
Classified.
If the captain's code is I'll pull out the paper and say it.
A override code was submitted. You do not have access to the override code.
I'm sorry, I don't have access to the override code?
Correct. Oxygen
Can we-
levels for the ship will be depleted in 30 minutes.
Can we override that override there, Adam?
There is a way.
How, please?
It requires multiple access points located only at the bridge terminal.
Ah, of course.
All right. Well, I will do that.
I'll go with you, Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll. I mean, I'm not really going anywhere. I guess I'll stay
No,
with.
yeah, you guys stay here, Angela.
Yeah. Be careful.
Well, if you see Kane, tell them to go fuck themselves.
Will do.
Okay, I'll keep at it and let you guys know.
All right, Doctor.
I
Angela, get to work. Go ahead.
I hand the pulse rifle to the captain, the second one.
So you both have the pulse rifle now, and
Captain, could we have your stun gun if you're getting that rifle just in
absolutely,
case?
Yeah.
Angela grabs it. I got nothing else to do but watch the door.
Yeah, I watch that vent too. That's where.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So head on
um,
the swivel, as they say. I
yeah.
think.
As this is happening, and as the captain and Ronnie leave, Kate, you are in the bridge, and you start to hear thumping in the walls of the bridge.
It's quite unpleasant. I just had to deal with this. Adam, please broadcast my voice to the rest of the ship.
Yes. And recording.
Thank you, Adam. Hello, fellow crewmates. The Stratus Corporation has unfortunately determined that this mission is a failure. We cannot let Zeta Prime be compromised. Therefore, it is in all of our best interests that we are terminating this mission effective immediately. Thank you for your input.
Offered no goddamn input. Just decided. I'll go up to the buttons and we offered no goddamn input. You just decided this on your own. There's still a cure. I think it's possible.
I'm just picturing like that waiting music of like.
I know you're there. Don't put me on hold.
Adam speaks up and says, "Would you like me to prepare another transfer of consciousness?"
Yes, please.
Will do. Transfer of consciousness will take place upon termination of current body.
Thank you, Adam.
Of course. As this is happening, the two of you start to make your way to the bridge, and you arrive at the bridge to see the door to the bridge sealed, closed off. And you also heard everything that Kane just said on the intercom.
Adam, open this door.
I cannot.
I'll break it down.
Okay. Roll a. How do you attempt to break it down? Just by slamming yourself into it?
I mean, I am proficient in athleticism, so
You are,
yeah. I lay, like, kick it or slam it or whatever.
Yeah, I would say you. What you can do is you can try to like place.
I could like shoot the lock with a pulse rifle if that works. I don't know.
I was about to say you can either try that or you can try to get the plastisteel knife and try to pry open the door.
Well, I gave that to Caroline, so
Yeah.
I'm going to not do that and instead use my rifle to try to weaken it and then kick it down.
Okay, so what I will say is you're not proficient in shooting door locks. So I would say this is going to be a D6 roll. The risk of failure... Oh, wait, are you at a -2 still?
Yeah.
So there's only a mixed success that can happen here. The risk of failure is you could make it, if you try this, so that the door can't be open.
Yeah, I try.
Okay. Roll your D6. Oof. That is a natural one. You shoot the lock, it explodes, and nothing happens.
Well, we could maybe go in through the vents.
I think we have no other choice. Is there a vent like nearby?
There's one in the hallway a little bit back. And just as you kind of think that, you hear thumping running across it towards the bridge.
Towards the bridge?
Yep.
Maybe the vents are not the best idea right now, but I'm not really sure how else to get there.
You hear a crashing sound as Kane, in front of you in the bridge, you see a vent shatter and fall down.
Of course.
And a figure rises from this vent, and they are covered.
It's Liza Minnelli.
They are covered in blood and dripping. They're once again they are more furry and hairy, with the hair almost being long at certain points. Their fingers have grown and claws have grown from their nails, and you see two bright red eyes appearing from behind him as Duke, the larger of the two and much more menacing, starts to breathe heavily. You can almost see the air coming out of his nostrils as he looks at you and just beats his chest and growls at you. What do you do?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't have any weapons. Can't really do that much. Okay,
open the door and run.
No. This might sound crazy.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have access to like all the audio memory logs of all my past selves, everything that I've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Would I then have access to the audio of when Daisy attacked me when I was my previous body?
Yeah.
Could I then just open my mouth and like replay the sound of like Daisy?
Interesting. Of course you can. Okay, so we're gonna say that this is. I mean, you could definitely do it. Like, you can just play the audio. So this is almost more of a, like, just luck check to see how this works. So go ahead and roll a d6. And the risk of this not being successful is that harm will become you.
Of course. Whatever.
Okay, that's 3, and you don't have any stress points, so that is a mixed success. So it stops in confusion and just kind of like stares at you and starts to almost pace back and forth as it is staring at you. The two of you,
distance.
Two of you in the hallway you don't see Kane because he's sitting down right now, but are you still, or would you be standing up now?
I'd be still.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna be moving.
So you don't see Kane, but you do see this figure who has landed in the room, this giant, hairy, horrifying, bloody ape, but it is pacing back and forth.
I start to climb up into the vents.
Okay.
Ronnie, are you sure this is a good idea?
I climbed into the vents earlier, and that's how I took down the first ape.
Right, I'm right behind you.
Right.
As this is happening, we cut back to the med bay.
A third ape.
You hear from behind you, Science Officer Caroline Sue. You hear from behind you. You better fucking stop it. Get away from me. And you turn around and you see a stun gun is pointed directly at you. And you look at her pupils are completely dilated. And you swear you can almost see like small squiggling happening in the white of the eyes as she's staring at you. Just leave me the fuck alone. Get away from me.
Okay. And then question.
Yes.
Of one of the things I have that I meant to ask earlier.
Yes.
So I do have a cloaking device.
You do.
Is that like is that like something I can cloak myself with? Is that something what is that? Okay.
That is so. It's basically something your suit does, where you can just activate it on your suit, and
Okay.
you're able to like pull out these gloves and put on this like it does require you like it's not much. It's almost like pulling up a hood and zipping it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can completely cover yourself and it cloaks you.
Okay. I would put my hands up and
Uh-huh.
like slowly walk away from the samples and everything I've been testing. So if she does
Yeah.
fire, it doesn't hurt that.
Yeah, she's
Like,
just kind of following
whoa.
you.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead and
What's going
roll
on?
a uh we're gonna make this a persuasion check. So this is gonna be a D6 for you to just kind of like calm her down. You don't have any stress points. The minus anything. And the risk of this is you could make her more uncomfortable by trying to calm her down.
Cool. E6. Here we go.
Okay, that's a 3. That's a mixed success. So you don't calm her down, but you don't anger her any further. But she also, it's a mixed success, so she doesn't fire on you either. She's just following you wherever you're going.
Knowing that like Ronnie's eventually chilled out, I'm gonna still like hold my hands up, and then since me talking didn't seem to like anger her more, I'm gonna like slowly put the gloves on
Okay.
of the cloaking and
Yep.
just like kind of get those like very slowly put those on
Yep.
while saying like I don't know what's going on, but
she seems
I'm
to
not
be
gonna
like
hurt you.
not responding to what you're actually saying. Like she's definitely hallucinating.
Yeah, I'm gonna still like say those things.
Of course,
so
yeah,
eventually when
yeah.
she comes to, like she's hearing that hopefully eventually, but
Yeah.
like until then, and then like basically be ready of like seeing her tense or like prepare for shooting or like get riled up to activate the cloaking, and like throw the hood up, activate it, do the
okay.
like.
So you're waiting it out for right now.
Yeah.
And it's a wise decision because after a minute, she slowly, you see her pupils start to constrict, and the squiggling kind of stops, and you see her put down. What happened? Oh my god! Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You were hallucinating.
Yeah, Yeah, I was. Oh my god, that felt so real.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
You okay? Sorry.
Yeah.
She puts the stun gun down.
You're good. You're good. If you'd feel more comfortable, I can take this.
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. You just and I'll like put together just some like chamomile or something and like a little like calming something. Be like, sip on this. It's gonna be okay.
For sure.
We're gonna get this figured out.
As all this is happening, we cut back to the main room. And as of right now, this Duke seems to be just still pretty angry, riled up, but is pacing back and forth. Easily enough, Ronnie, you're able to get up into the vent. You start to crawl your way towards the bridge, I'm assuming. Do you just jump right down?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you jump down. The ape turns and looks at you, hearing this, and I'm assuming you fire.
I fire.
Go ahead and roll a shooting check. Do you have any minuses right now?
Yep, I have -2.
-2.
Can I have a quick mental breakdown to reset those? No, just kidding. All right, I'll roll it.
All right, that's a 5 -2, which is a 3. So this is a mixed success. So you hit it, but it puts up its forearm last second, just kind of like instinctively feeling like something's happening, and you definitely cause a big gash to like blow up the side of its forearm, and causes it to stagger back a little bit, but you haven't hurt it too much. And it looks at you and roars and is gonna charge right at you. It was a mixed success, so you do have a second to shoot again if you would like.
I would shoot again. Or you can try
to run out of the way. You can, it's whatever you want to do.
I will yell.
Okay.
To the captain.
Okay.
I would be like, I would have stayed in the vent, but be like,
you went up into the vent
get
too.
A shot. I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention to that.
I
Well, then
said
will-
I'm right behind you, and then I didn't specifically say I was right
My
behind him,
bad.
but
Okay.
I was.
Well, then no, I would definitely say in this amount of time for sure, you can just kind of like be up in the vent, pointing the gun down, and you can get a shot. This is gonna be a D6 for you.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh no.
That's a 1. You feel the shot ring out, and Ronnie, your left arm,
shit.
a pulse hits your left arm and travels down your left arm, exploding out of your bicep, completely rendering useless your left arm as you
My
hold
bicep?
up- yeah, your bicep.
Work so hard for those.
As you now have to hold up this rifle with just your right arm as your left arm goes limp.
Okay, I'm trying to shoot
Okay.
the screecher.
Yeah, roll again.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, an 8 minus 2 is still a 6, which is a full success. You fall back. You just fall down on the ground completely, like you're off balance with the arm. This is panicking. You fall back down to the ground and you aim up and you fire, and the pulse rifle slams right into the chest of Duke as he lands back onto the ground and kind of skids a little bit and starts like clawing at his chest. He immediately, blood starts pouring out of his chest. You see that he is hurt bad, but he is still like starting to like rile and get back up. What do you do, Captain? And what do you do, Kane? Let's say Kane first. Yeah, what are you doing?
In the kerfuffle of
Yeah.
Ronnie getting shot in the arm,
Uh-huh.
all that stuff, I kind of slink away, and what I would like to do is, as stealthily as I can, get to the main like steering navigation
Okay, yeah.
and just like, I'm the strong version of Kane,
Yeah.
just kind of as best I can. Totally. Also, we probably are. It was 5 minutes to come out of.
Yeah, you're out of light speed at this point.
Great. I just want to fuck up the navigation and start to try and make the ship go into a nosedive into like the nearest possible atmosphere.
For sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. Like, we'll say it's the middle of space, so it's like, we'll say like there's no planet or anything nearby, but you immediately like see like a meteor, like
Yeah, anything.
like-
yeah.
yeah,
anything.
and so you just turn this, and I would say it's easy enough. You don't even, it's all computerized, so you just start like plugging in the numbers as all of this is going on, and easily enough the ship starts steering towards that direction. It'll take a bit to get there. Obviously, it's going to take a second, but it immediately, and you aim it right towards an asteroid that it's like the shield and hull is not going to be able to take this. Like, this is going to be detrimental if you run into this asteroid. And actually, and it doesn't happen yet, but that like despite anything that you do, just because of the like extreme safety measures of this trip, like in a minute there's going to start being an alarm saying that this is happening.
Yeah.
And so as all of that is happening, the Duke is starting to get back up. Captain, what are you doing?
I would be ready to try again and take another shot.
Yeah, do you come back down from the vent, or are you still shooting from the vent?
I'm still shooting from up top.
Okay, he got kind of pushed a little bit further away, so this is going to be, you might be a little,
Okay.
so if you shoot it from the vent, it's going to be a D4. If you shoot it from
Okay.
down
I'll
on the
hop
ground,
down.
it'll be a D6. Okay, it'll be a D6. Go ahead and roll that D6. Risk is obviously harm will befall you. You don't have any minuses, right? So that's
No
a mixed
minuses.
success. So you're not able to kill it. It's a mixed success. You're not able to kill it, but you do harm it enough that it is still taking its sweet ass time to get back up, giving Ronnie the chance to have another shot if Ronnie would like it.
Great.
Absolutely.
And Ronnie, I will say you are minus an arm. This is a D6 at this point.
Ronnie would like.
Yes, I'm probably not paying attention to Kane at this point.
Yeah, probably not. There's a huge big ape in here.
Oh, that's a 2.
4, so that is a, yeah. So you look up at the ape, and you are terrified of what you see, and your rifle falls down, and you try to like catch it with your left arm, and you're not able to, and that sends you into a spiral, and you just start screaming in the face of this gorilla who starts running straight towards you. And as he does, he slams into you, Captain, and slams you into your back, flies back, and hits a wall, and you land on the ground. And so you do have a chance to shoot at at Duke before he gets to Ronnie.
Would I be able to do something during this? Or,
Sure, if you want to, yeah.
I would want to go up to the captain and try and restrain her, at least.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. This would be an athleticism check, basically. You're not proficient in this, so this will be a d6 for you.
If
And
I'm
I'll
the
say-
beefy security version of Kane, am I proficient in it?
You know what? I'm going to say yes. So this is going to be a d8 for you and a d6 for you, Emily. We're going to do opposed athleticism checks here.
Probably going to be bad. It's fine. 4.
That's a 4 and a 5. So she is able to, she feels you, wrap your arms around her. She pushes you off. And go ahead and roll for your shot, Emily.
I did technically already roll before he attacked me. It was a 4, but do you want me to re-roll?
Oh, was that 4 for the shot?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say that 4 is still for the shot. Once again, this Duke is beefy. He's a big dude. So you shoot him again, throwing him off course. He slams into the wall next to you, Matt, allowing you, once again with a mixed success, allowing you to get another shot off, and then we'll come back to Kane and the captain.
All right, I will shoot.
Yep, and a d6. Oh, and this is no I was about to say there's no minus stress, but it doesn't matter because he failed the roll. You shoot. He takes his big fist, as he slams next to the ground, and you shoot, and it misses, and he kind of looks back at you, and swear he almost grins as he slams his fist down into your head, immediately caving your skull in against the wall behind you, and you cease to exist. As this gorilla completely just obliterates Ronnie. As this is happening, the captain and Kane are both now standing in here. Kane, you technically would be the next to act. So you see this happen. You see the captain miss her shot. You see, or hit her shot, but it's not forceful enough. You see Ronnie miss his shot, get his skull caved in. What do you do?
I want to push the captain into the giant monkey.
Okay, roll opposed athleticism checks yet again, a d8 and a d6.
How rude.
That's a 6 for Michael and a 3 from Emily. Emily, you are pushed in to this ape, and it looks towards you, and it slams you against a wall yet again, just not hitting you, grabbing you and slamming you into the wall next to Ronnie. You feel your ribs crack as it pushes down on you. It is about to go for a bite at your skull. You have a chance to shoot if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, this is all going to depend on how I roll, but ideally I would love, as it's coming in for a bite, to just shove my gun in its mouth.
Okay, yeah.
And take a shot.
And with a 6,
Nice.
I'm going to say that that's exactly what happens. This creature comes at you with a bite, and you get your rifle up, and you fire, and it falls back to the ground and releases you as you slide, landing on the ground, inhaling from the release of pressure, and you immediately feel the sting of broken ribs. But that giant ape Duke falls down to the ground and is dead.
I would immediately turn my gun on Kane.
Okay.
You're not going to take this ship down.
I am not taking this ship down. The Stratus Corporation has designated that this ship is to be terminated.
My job was to protect the safety of everybody on this ship, and I've failed so far, but I will not fail overall.
My prime objective is to ensure the safety of Zeta Prime. An infected ship such as this would be detrimental to the future of the colony.
I'm going to take a shot at Kane.
Okay, roll a shooting check. I'm gonna say, well,
Doesn't matter.
Never mind, you fail. So she shoots at you, and you, with speed that you have not seen before because of his android capabilities, he immediately dodges and ducks out of the way. Kane, what do you do in response?
So I'm just gonna try and strangle her.
Okay, so you charge and run at the captain. Opposed athleticism checks. Yeah, 8 and a D. That's a 5.
Yes. I got a 6.
Oh, that's a 6. That was your 6. Damn.
Mhm.
Oh, damn.
So you slam into her. You push her to the ground. You do get your hands on her throat, but she's able to like get her knee up in your chest and push you off. You have a second to do something as you push Kane off.
I mean, I'll take another shot at him.
Right, roll a d6.
Hell yeah.
And with a 6,
What is it with Emily consistently just always getting critical shots off of the bad
And
guys?
she's-
Yeah,
I'm not
damn.
lying, you
And,
know
like,
I'm not lying.
Yeah, and objectively, this is like super cool looking. She's slammed up against the wall, her ribs breaking. She gets the final kill, turns to the android who slams her into it, and she's like fighting for her life. But yeah, I will say with a 6, you fire the bullet. The back of Kane's skull explodes in a shrapnel of plastic, metal, and white liquid, and just immediately like falls to the ground and falls flat in his face.
Adam?
Yes, Captain.
Has our trajectory changed?
Yes, Captain. We are, and right as he like begins to talk, you hear the alarm go off again. We are currently on a crash course with a very large asteroid.
Adam, are you able to adjust our trajectory away?
I am.
You are? Okay, please do that, Adam.
Access code required.
Give my access code.
You see that it like starts to try to correct it, and then it says override code used. Override code denied.
I'm gonna sit down at the manual controls because we're on the bridge, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna sit down at the manual controls. Say, Adam, manual control override.
Switched to manual controls.
And I'm gonna try to steer us the fuck away from this asteroid belt.
Okay,
Oh, shit.
as that is happening.
Thinking of Sam and how much he wanted to do this.
As that is happening, back to the science lab. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to find a cure while like continually kind of every once in a while checking on my buddy and see if she's having a hallucination.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say if that's the only thing you're trying to do, I mean, it'll take you a while to try to like. I mean, it would take a while. It's going to take a while to try to figure out a cure for this thing, if that's even possible. So, if that is what you would like to continue to do, that is what you can continue to do. But that's not really much, because there's no more apes, and so you don't really hear any more commotion. Do you like check in with Adam ever and ask like if like what's going on anywhere else in the ship? Or
I mean, would I be close enough to like hear any
you heard
of
a
that?
bunch of growling and pulse rifle shots for sure.
Okay. If I heard it, I would like keep working, but I like ask for a status report,
Okay.
mainly of like who's still alive, is there still a Kane around? Is
Yeah, so basically,
is the captain okay?
We'll say at the time that you ask, you'll say changes. Adam will say changes in life forms since you last were informed are as follows. Security Officer Ronnie is no longer detected. Ape Duke and Ape Daisy have been terminated.
That's good.
Captain Jeanette Carter is in physical and emotional distress, but
Oh,
is
shit.
alive. Kane is currently waking in the cryo chamber.
Oh, God. There's another one of him.
And as this is happening, Kane, you for the second team, which is the science officer, Kane, looking pretty similar to engineering officer. The glasses are back, but the hair is still somewhat short. But you wake up once again confused, not sure what's going on, and then the memories are uploaded just like directed at him. And the last thing you remember is looking down the barrel of Captain Carter's pulse rifle.
Okay. Get up, Not really sure what all I can do.
I mean, yeah. I would say when you requested an update, like Adam lets you know, like oxygen levels are like 15 minutes away from being depleted, um, and you know, Captain is currently working on a manual trajectory change, but it was a big asteroid and it's a big ship.
Adam,
Yes.
please download my consciousness to the Stratus Cloud. I would like to go home.
Understood. Complete.
Thank you. I think I'll just power down.
Okay. Kane just
Nap time.
falls dormant in the cryo chamber, leaving the humans to deal with the chaos that they have caused. As this is happening, upon hearing all of this, what do you do in the science office?
Yeah. I'll give Angela the knife and take the stun gun and just say, I'm gonna go try and help the captain. See what if we're all doomed, basically.
Okay.
But you stay here, rest that hip. I'm gonna run there real fast, so I'll be back as I can, and hopefully with the captain.
Are you sure the apes are killed?
I mean, I believe
Just Adam's
Adam
been
at least
glitchy
for
lately,
that.
but yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
so you leave the med bay and you start to head back to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the bridge and you see nothing but pretty much a large asteroid taking up the viewfinder in this ship as the captain is still actively trying to pull it away. All right, Captain, we're going to need you to roll a piloting check. The risk of failure here being you might crash into this asteroid.
You're muted.
Is this the same as navigation?
Yeah, I'll count this
Because
as a
I'm proficient.
Yeah, I mean, you're the captain. This is a D8
Okay.
for you,
Yeah.
for sure.
Great.
Can I assist?
No, that's not really a thing. Okay, a 5. That is a full success. Because you have no
Okay.
minuses, right?
No minuses?
Yeah, so at a full success, you are
Stress.
able to just pull the ship out of range of slamming into this asteroid. And that's one problem solved until the alarm starts to sound again, and Adam comes over the intercom and saying, oxygen levels will be fully depleted in 5 minutes.
Shit. Can we override that, Captain? Do you
Adam,
have-
restore oxygen levels. Open vents.
To override the override code, multiple inputs need to take place at the main bridge terminal.
Yep. How, Adam? We're here in the bridge, ready to.
So yeah, well, I mean, the bridge
Would
terminal
I?
is like in the back. So we'll say the captain and the science officer, you both head to this terminal,
Yeah.
and this is going to take a roll from both of you.
Oh,
It'll be a D6 from both of you, and we're just going to see if you can basically figure out and within enough time go through the procedures to override this override code. Because, the Stratus Corporation are not idiots. They're not going to give complete and full control. But, there are safety measures, but they are convoluted and complicated. They usually allow for more time to be taken place. So, with that all being said, go ahead and roll let's go ahead and go with JMO first. Go ahead and roll that D6.
I'm scared. I have a stress point.
That is a 3 minus 2. That is a failure.
I don't have any more minuses.
You don't have any minus. You said you had a stress point. Sorry.
I already have my breakdown.
Okay, so that is 2 mixed successes. So what
I was saying JMO has a stress point.
Oh, okay. I understand. So what I will say is, with a mixed success, you are able to restore the oxygen levels, fix the issue. However, in doing so, Adam, all of the logs, and all of the information that you have had on the ship had to be completely factory reset to default
Jeez.
in order for the override code to be, that was the only, with a mixed success, that's the only option, was to completely reset everything. So you have lost all recorded data, unless it was like in the Stratus cloud, which is only going to be like mainly superfluous things. But you are able to do it so that you can override Payne's override, and the ship is now yours again. And you hear Adam come on over the intercom. Welcome to Stratus Corporation's Titan. There are currently three
It's like, oh no.
brave life forms on board. This mission has been a critical failure. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session, as we leave you with a little bit of an epilogue. The space, we see the blackness of space, and then we see a tiny blue dot in this vastness of space. And we zoom in on it, and we see a large ship currently landing on this planet. And as it does, a crew of people leave the ship. People we don't recognize. People from the next trip to Zeta Prime. And as they start to make their way out of the ship, their eyes widen, and they see overgrown, monstrous-looking foliage, and they see a environment that is incredibly robust with life, that seems to be out of control, mutated, even to their alien eyes. And in the distance, you hear the hoots and hollers of what sound like creatures, and the tree line near where the ship has landed starts to populate with malformed, mutated versions of 3 women. And they roar in horror and fear with fangs and claws revealed, and that is the end of the session. So,
Nice.
maybe it would have been better. Maybe it would have been better if
I was trying.
Kane was
to help.
successful. Kane was successful in his trip. The mutagens made it to Zeta Prime. But thank you all for watching, and thank you to my players. This was a fun little spooky one-shot. I love space settings. So who knows, we may come back to a setting like this for a or something. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This coming Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central is session 2 of season 5 of The Remains, where you'll catch both me and Matt, and Sophie will finally be joining us for that session. So we'll have me and Michael. So we'll have a full cast for the remainder of this season. And then at 2 p.m. Central a week from today, we will have the next Tearoth session, and we will see exactly what is going down with the dragon that just revealed itself in front of our party. And we won't have Matt at that one, but Flint will still be there in spirit, even if he's just in his urn the entire time. Stay tuned at Charm Persons for more updates on other events. And thank you, players, the best players that you ask for. I say time, but I mean it every. And as always, everybody say bye.
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 Bye.